work with underneath of Shadow. Doesn't have to worry about the top side of jungle, but they do have to consider window still. Slow peek from somebody. Sandwich, I don't think he was spotted.
And we have a $25 anonymous donation with no comment. And also Mongo donated $20 with no comment.
I guess if you have some more donations, there's plenty of time since there'll be some more jumping going on. I will shortly be coming up on the same.
We have also two more $25 anonymous donations with no comment. And we have a $50 donation from Rubel saying, "Hello newest and Stennis, I hope all is well. I'm playing on my Xbox 360 and I'm stuck at Smelter Demon. Can either of you help me?"
Yeah, there's like the Speedsteel Discord, you can join us, and there are specific channels, and one of them is to help you out, so it's fine. There jumped and didn't get like the landing, or didn't get the landing, so he actually lost height there. So he didn't jump.
Probably gonna be too high now. Should be enough. I just did X-Plus because I don't want to be too low for this skip. It's really annoying having to do all these jumps again.
Yes, once we are out of that cave, we can only do our not basic, so let's try to win again.
Wow. I want to be above level with this might be bad. Okay, that should work. Okay, this has a very high risk of breaking.
Started the whole world crying, but I didn't see that the joke was on me. I started to cry. That started the whole world laughing. Oh, it ahead in the game. That the joke was on me. I looked at the sky, running my hand over my eyes. I fell out
nice shot.
hurting my head. I'd said till I finally died.
You go ahead in the game. That's the one.
I only see that the joke was on me. Oh, that the joke was on me. I started a joke, but I didn't see that the joke was on me.
Go big, go, eh? Hold. Big, hold it.
I started that started the whole.
Let's go.
Go big. Rush. Oh, big. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on.
Only see that the joke was on me. I looked at the sky, over my eyes, and I from things I till I finally died. That started the whole world
Terrorists win.
that the joke was on me. I looked at the sky, running my hand
Go.
over my eyes,
Throwing a flashbang.
fell out of bed, hurting my head. Which started the whole
Throwing fire. Terrorists win.
I only see that the joke was on me. Oh, that the joke was on me.
Let's go. Throwing flashbang. Let's set this place on fire.
Нелегально.
Flashbang.
Если у тебя все заебись.
Smoke. Grenade.
I started a joke that started the whole world crying.
What? Come on, let's go.
That started the whole world laughing.
Flashbang. Throwing flashbang. Throwing flashbang.
Running my hand over my eyes, and I fell out of bed, hurting my head from things I've said, till I finally died. That started the whole world giving. Oh, if I only see that the joke was on me. I looked at the sky, running my hand over my eyes, and I fell out of bed, hurting my head from things I said, till I finally died, which started the whole world living. Oh, if I only see was on me. Oh, that the joke was on me. I started a joke that started the whole world crying, but I didn't see that the
Push
joke
A fast.
was on me.
Lighten it up.
I started to cry.
I'm planting the bomb. Throwing a grenade.
Started the whole world laughing.
Throwing smoke.
Only see that the joke was on me. I looked at the sky, running my
Fire in the hole.
over my eyes, and I fell out of bed,
Come on, let's go.
till I finally died. That started the whole world giving. Oh, if I
Voltrak is very good in this category, but still, this category is hard to finish a run. You have to kill this guy to make the switch come up. You have to pull the switch to make the switch come down.
On center side, you might see the moon jump.
Yeah, you
There we go.
There we go.
Actually, quite a bit of damage, but another thing is that two hand your left. Wait, maybe it's you know. I don't saves a tiny bit of time, and sometimes it makes some floodgates more consistent.
Oh yeah, that's actually a thing.
laying down
Like
smoke.
the when you pick up the first shield at right next to the other flux cell tree. If you do not do that trick, you can get killed by him very easily. But if you do it, then you can always pick up the item with no problem.
So with Nubis being in like very early stages of the game with a very late game build, the bosses tend to die somewhat fast.
You think?
Let's go!
So for the viewers watching at home, what is the current world record?
142
Flashbang.
something, but that's RTA no load.
Go
I
eight.
cannot get up this one. Yeah,
That's it.
I believe the time would be around 1.6 RTA, something like that. But unless we do a manual timing after this, I don't know what the actual official time.
Let's burn it to the ground. Throwing a flashbang.
There's quite a few loads between.
Yeah, well, I mean, the RTA no load
Throwing a
time
grenade.
as RTA.
Let's go.
I might be. We're pretty well off right now.
Yeah,
Throwing
it's
smoke.
some insane pace, right?
Throwing a flashbang.
But even though I'm quite far bit behind, I don't believe I actually. So all my time essentially bad boss RNG and failing some parry walks, which is to be expected with such a long run with so many parry walks.
Did you fail natural skip a few times?
Yeah, but there was only one time I think, and it was like 9 jumps, so it was really wasn't bad.
Oh no, I missed! Oh no, the choke! Yeah, that's the last boss of the run. Now all there is to do is run to the... Oh, we also started the timer earlier than you're supposed to for the actual timing.
True.
But yeah, yeah, all that I have left to do is run to the throne and hit the credits. Which will be about a minute, so this will beat the time in RTA. I think it's 42.50 something, but I'm not sure. Because it's not that good of a time, honestly.
Go, go, go!
Getting first try skips really helps, especially in Archer skip. Method skip usually get first try, sometimes it just takes longer. My method skip was not very
Decoy.
good. It took me quite a long time to get it down. Quite a long time to
One window,
load it up. First try.
The current world record RTA no load is 1:42:54.
Not for long. Because there's am I supposed to hit this switch when I finish
I
or
guess so.
leave it running? I don't
Press
know.
the button. World record!
Nothing happened. It's still going.
No, look next to your net.
Oh, I can't see. Oh, rising. Okay. So, yeah, that's it's pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, pretty
Fire
good.
in the hole!
So for anyone who's watched the older ESAs, you might recognize something when I press this button here. If we are still on my audio, that is. Oh, never mind, it didn't work. I changed this music, but I guess it didn't work.
Rip. Oh, good try.
Maybe Stennis has it working, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know either.
So Sten is basically one boss behind here, only has to kill Lost Giant, and then does the same run back as Nubis had to do. Didn't choke, of course.
It's just better than I am.
His loading screens, man. He has
Oh,
some
yeah.
insanely long
He
loading
had
screens.
the,
I had
he
the
had the
one
He
long
had- he
loading
actually
screen
did
at
have
one
some
point.
loading
that would have,
screen.
yeah, if he did have that long loading, that's probably about a minute. So he
Yeah.
would have been like 20 seconds behind.
40 seconds or something, yeah.
Yeah, even with the category where you jump into a wall for 150 times, you can still get some races where you're really, really close to each
Yeah,
other.
so unfortunately, since Nubis was such a god gamer today, he I don't get the new world record in this. Otherwise, it would probably have been.
Would have definitely
So it actually was a very, very good run. So we're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, insanely high, I suppose. But the thing is, this run can go very
Yeah.
wrong very fast.
It's
so-
probably not longer than like a week ago or so that I actually pretty much hit the estimate. So
I'm just here fixing the schedule, man. You're doing a
Yeah,
good job.
we're
You did a
behind
good
the
job.
schedule,
Yeah.
so we're the good
helping
guys here.
Isai and helping the children. Everyone benefits. And time is just about coming up here.
Well, you just hit the button.
Yep. But I want to inform the viewers.
And also for Stennis, time.
Wow,
Wow.
what a battle!
What a
What a
battle,
battle.
dude.
So that was Dark Souls 2 reverse boss order.
I want to thank my co-commentator, Captain Donald, doing an amazing job. Can we have a round of applause for my co-commentator?
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So Captain is the latest Dark Souls 2 cultist. He's been running the Dark Souls 2 80% here at USA.
Actually, beating me.
Yeah, he actually-
one day.
For one day, he was
One
faster
day.
than
That's the
Bruce.
only
Yeah.
reason I'm here. It's because I have a faster PB than yours.
Yeah, it's
According
true.
to speedrun.com,
It's
at least.
actually true.
Please, EMP, don't verify Brute's run.
Yeah, so for everyone interested
Throwing fire.
in Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 1, any of the Soulsborne games, check out the Soulsborne Discord. All runners, stuff, if you like all pretty much only do this.
Yeah, follow up Rune, he's gonna do this as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
promise.
yeah, that didn't.
For Captain,
Captain is doing 80%. Captain is doing 80%. He made a promise that he will start grinding, so
yeah, he
definitely
has-
give him a
Yeah.
follow. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, thank you for the race, Dennis.
Yeah. Thank you for having us here.
Yeah, thank you
We
to
had a
ESA. And I guess we're done here. Thank you very much.
And thank you for these amazing runs and this amazing race. We are now switching to an ad break.
I can't love, whoa, I can't love you. I can't love, I can't love you. I can't love, whoa, I can't love you. I can't deal with, I can't love you. I can't love, whoa, I can't love you. I can't love, I can't love you. I can't love, whoa, I can't love you. I can't deal with, I can't love you. I can't love, whoa.
Smoke. Grenade. Let's go. Decoy.
It's A, guys. It's A.
It's lost.
Terrorists win.
It's got another thing.
John, Despacito. John.
Despacito.
Lock and load. Decoys out.
Why are you playing CS? It's B maybe.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah, it's B.
Bomb has been planted.
Welcome back, everyone, to ESA Summer 2018. I am your host, English Ben, and I am with
Michi. Hi.
Michi.
You're like,
Sorry, I thought I was going to introduce you. Sorry.
Hi, guys.
You just missed, unfortunately enough, a fantastic race between Nubist and I forgot his name. I apologize. The other runner. I'm sorry. I blanked. Nubist. It only matters because Nubist won. That's all that matters, right?
That was pretty interesting, that run. Yeah.
Next up, Shadow of the Colossus PS4 remaster with Elias. I won't forget your name, Ella. I promise, dude. I got you. Ela? Who calls him Ela? Ella Jazz. That's a good one. So yeah, let's go through a couple of the incentives and bid balls, Michi.
Yes. So
I heard you're a big Elgato fan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we have Elgato, one of our partners for this event. They just got a new product launch, which is the mini Stream Deck. If you guys haven't checked that out, that's pretty cool. It just works just as the Big Brother, but it's tiny and cute, and yeah, it's cool.
I've never heard someone talk to a Stream Deck as cute.
It's really cute. It's so tiny. It's like six buttons, and it's more affordable as well. Yeah.
We'd also like to give a quick thank you to Sigma IT Consulting, because they love gaming and making a difference, and so do I. Do you like gaming and making a difference?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So they say supporting ESA was a no-brainer as it combines all the core values of Sigma, and they've been a partner for multiple years. So have I at this point. This is my second event.
Yeah.
I'm basically a veteran at this point. When do I become organizing committee? Is that next year?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, cool. So we also have an incentive coming up, Michi. Diablo 2. We have two, actually.
Actually, two, yes.
Yeah.
So we have one for, it's a bid war, actually, where you can choose the class. Either you choose bid for Druid, Assassins, or Swords. And currently, the Druid is taking the lead with $150. And Assassin is $105.
So if you want Assassin or Sorceress, get those donations in soon. You have a couple of hours, I'd say?
Yeah.
Max. So be quick. And we also have the other incentive as well. How close are we to that? I can't see it, Michi. You're going to have to tell me.
Yeah, we're pretty close. It's 285 of 500 for Kill the Cow King.
Kill the Cow
If you
King.
want to see Kill the Cow King, you better donate now.
Get those
as well.
donations in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got some probably donations to read on the big room camp. So we'll leave you. We'll love you and leave you.
Yeah.
And enjoy Shadow of the Colossus.
Bye.
Let's go, let's go! Deploying decoy. Flashbang.
And now we're starting with the Shadow of the Colossus run by Elijahs.
All right, here we go. So this will be the shot.
Hello everyone, welcome to Need for Speed Most Wanted. I'm CourageS. Left on my side we got Choshimus, on my right side we got Seasoner as our co-commentators. We're gonna present to you Most Wanted Any Percent speedrun today. And yeah, ready when you are.
You have the button.
I know, right? Okay, we're gonna start off the run right off the bat with a glitch, the lab glitch. I'm gonna explain it as I'm gonna go through it. Okay. 3,
We're so important
2,
because if guys win there,
1.
they start to close the gap.
Let's
Even
go.
with 7
So,
it's working
first,
out.
we jump into the custom races. Here we choose the events
Going there,
number
you keep Big Tech in
1,
mind
2,
in the
3.
last map.
We need to change the lap number to
Lovely from
1
Kenny.
and turn off the traffic.
I was a
Those
bit
two
concerned he missed
settings
the first
actually
shot
carry
after
over
dropping down, but he made
to
it
the
good
main
on it
career
immediately
mode.
after.
So we
The
basically
smoke, I
gimp
thought,
all
was
of the races
self-preservation,
that this
and
game
it
has to
turned out, as you
offer.
say,
So
to enable him
we
to fall
are,
back. So
with
2
the exception
turns
of
now
one
for
single
Tyler
race,
already.
we're never gonna do more
This
than
being
1
the second.
lap. And you can that
See
before
what they
you jump
respond
into
with.
the
They have
career
to stick to
mode.
pistols once again this time. It's only a 4th round bonus.
There it is.
CT
Start
side,
the
that's
career.
not enough. The way he's playing right
Present
now, you
day.
just figured
So
he's
we're
gonna
starting
land
off the
in
game
those crosshair. Needs
with
deep shots already in.
the race
Forced out.
against the
He's
number
committed.
15
Jax takes
on the
the brunt
blacklist,
of the
Razor.
exchange in behind in the tunnel, but Shock's already found the kill.
Ali, that was their ticket back into this game.
So come on, what's the law for this game?
So what's the law for this game? So you are new to the city, right? You come to the city, you came from Underground 2, and this is basically, you know, a sequel to the Underground games, kinda, you know. It is implied that, you know, we came from the Underground, and we trying to make a name for ourselves in this game. And yeah, we are in that BMW M3 GTR with that awesome livery, a car that is very iconic to a lot of us. The speedrunning community of Need for Speed.
All the way back
means the
there
white
into
blue car.
spawn.
Exactly.
And
Didn't I say that? Oh yeah, on the left side we got a Mustang.
executed behind the
Where
car, and
Razor's
it will be a very clean round for G2. They give up
So
one
we're
back, his body
we're
goes
jumping
down,
right
but
into the
he
game
kills
with
in
our
that round.
car
They've got enough
that
money
we
for the
entered
rest of the
the
half
city
this
with,
point,
and we're
especially
winning.
Kenny S. He's got a full
But
bag for
it is
12K
not as
residual
smooth as you
cash.
might think.
Excura gets the AWP out, and still they're not looking like they're fully equipped. I think Summer will have enough for
huge oil
utility
slick
there,
to start
but
it.
ideally like a double AWP setup.
Oh well, we're gonna conclude that later.
As we get into
First, we get a little bit of
Lucky took the one
pre-story.
spawn. Watch
6
out
days
for
ago,
the
when we
Kenny
entered
S.
Rockport City,
They'll flash him
we
over
got
and see
our
what can be
first
done.
race against
He's got
Ronnie.
behind him as they do fully together.
One
He's inside
of
the flames.
Razor's jumps.
Into the flash high in the sky. He wants to repeat this because somebody's already got the kill. He does it just before.
So this
the
is our
flash
first
blooms,
complete
before
race that we
gets the
actually get to
kill.
do.
Kenny's going to follow that.
We're
Straight down.
quite
Wall
more than
opened up.
just
Intet.
first 10
Still
seconds.
go on
then
catwalk.
Siana.
He needs to fall off of it. He needs to be sure to support his teammate over toward
And
car.
this is just like a plot thing.
Summer
so
waits.
It's a bit like, hey, this is the plot
this
reason why you have
top
money
down.
to start the game rather than just, here you go, have some money.
Absolutely spammable.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about we're basically doing a bet in the
that was
beginning.
there that
It's like if you win this, you get your first cash and you get the chance to drive against someone that is better than you. They basically throw Ronnie at you because they don't believe you have any kind of skill. You're just a bolt-on wonder boy in your M3, and you don't really know how to use it.
already. Shocks is
And we are proving them a
at the
little
doors.
wrong.
If he clears that, they'll split this and go to B.
Might notice
Strange Kenny
in the
didn't
tutorial
walk off the
race we're
car just
already
to be
800
fair.
meters
They
ahead.
weren't 100% sure they checked that position, but
So
still
this is one of the abilities, it's called the speed breaker. It slows down the time and also makes your car more grippy and heavier. I use it either to get faster around corners or to soften the effect of crashing into a traffic
Why
car.
would there be a third? It absolutely would. I guarantee you, Summer had
So
at least
that was the
two
first
kills.
one to beat.
They went that way. Attacker's got two on the doorstep right now. Kenny
You always have to watch like the first 10
Bomb's
seconds.
still going to be
Well,
planted.
not
Lucky's
even
going
10
to grab it.
seconds. A few seconds of the
Three
cutscenes.
players going in the same
So
direction.
we beat
of the ball.
Ronnie next
Was
up.
picked up on the way through.
Four.
Shocks is still holding him mid as he was the whole
And
round.
this
That's
is
pretty much
also
why
where
they
we
made
get
the mid-round call
introduced
swing
to
B.
cop
It's worked out
chases.
perfectly for them.
Well, there we have it. The long take there. Nothing too technical from G2. As I always
Hello,
say,
sir.
if they get gifted the opportunity to send a key
Would
rifle
this be an
or
okay
a
time for some
towards
donations?
Volvo, you
Yeah,
can
go
take
ahead.
it. That's why
Alright,
maybe a lot
we
of
have a
teams don't like playing
$25
this too much
donation
because
from Earl
it means
saying,
as tactical teams
hello
can
Kubu,
find those sort
Earl
of
here.
advantages
Good luck in your
and
run
control
and
of
good luck
positions like
beating
Volvo.
me.
Pretty difficult to defend.
Thank you so much,
As
man.
it looks.
And a $5 donation from Pump Ow.
That's all we said.
Hey
Barrage
Kuro,
had to be a must
Pump
win for Tai Lu.
here. Just wanted to say good luck on the
10-2
run
down
and
once again on
don't
the
reset.
pistols.
I will not.
Really
Well, actually, I will reset, but that is a glitch. That
one
can
versus
happen.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
And could you also tell me when you need the car color?
The car color, I need about
Let's roll.
10 minutes in.
Alright, thank you.
I'll tell you when we're there.
So what is that, a donation incentive for the
That is
car?
yeah, we got a donation incentive for the color for the car that we're going to use. We're only going to use one car in this run, the Golf GTI.
What?
It's the fastest starter car, and it keeps being the fastest car for the entire run. Switching cars would waste 7 minutes, and no car is fast enough to make up a 7-minute time gap.
Oh.
Listen. See? This is the reference to the Underground games. Basically implying we came from Underground 2 into this city.
Then in future games, it also implies that it's still one long continuous story, even in Pro Street.
Exactly. In Pro Street, they're referencing Ryan Cooper. So, I mentioned earlier that there's one lapped race where we cannot change the lap number. This race does not exist outside of the career mode, so we can change its lap number in the single race mode from the beginning. So we actually have to do 2 laps here. I know we're speedrunners, but sometimes, you know, we gotta take a bullet. One thing that is very cinematic about this game, the in-game music is actually turned off, so you get to enjoy the engine sounds of the M3 in all of its glory. You know, as a car guy, pretty much any car guy says the same. They just love the whine of this car. It sounds even better on the road. It's like a Nürburgring video where they send them GTR around the lap, and it sounds better. example, Need for Speed Carbon, it sounds a lot more like the original. This is pretty
I'll go
close, but it can be better.
I'll go inside.
Oh yeah,
I'm
when it
following
comes
you,
to
don't hold me.
optimization of every
You
single
can
race,
boost
what you
me.
want to do is basically, you know, you stockpile your NOS
Just
until you're like
shoot me,
on a long straight, so you can keep your average speed as high as possible. It's all about, you know, accelerating out of corners. Basic racing stuff. That's in combination with the racing line, and you can
Right here by the rock.
it's over a long run like this.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There we go.
Hey, long.
Hey, oh, sorry.
Ah, it's okay.
It's A, it's A.
Getting noticed.
If you noticed, we aren't actually skipping this because the game has cutscenes, but it also has kind of in-game cutscenes, but you can't skip those.
Yeah, that one cannot be skipped, for example.
We have one APK. Nice.
So yeah, finally we racked up enough reputation to challenge the number 15 guy, the Blacklist, Razor.
To your right, yellow.
This is the first race that was cut off short.
One barn.
So you might know what's gonna happen next.
Yes, one left.
So yeah, basic strategies. As I mentioned, you wanna accelerate as fast as possible, so every single start we're gonna get the maximum acceleration out of every car.
So does the NOS add acceleration or top speed or both?
Only acceleration.
Okay.
There are some other Need for Speeds where you can actually get the RPM even higher, so therefore increase the top speed even further. But in this game, it's all about extra acceleration. He probably dropped his donut. He's really mad at us now, so gotta get out of the city now.
Actually be in a police pursuit of Blacklist race.
There's actually
One
gotta
more
be really bad though. Condition ones are, well, I don't really want to say what we call them. I'm just gonna keep it to myself. Pretty good.
No. I lost cameras.
Oh, okay. Up.
Okay, what do you think, guys? Is this better?
Probably.
Okay. Okay.
I'll
And
keep adjusting your mic for you. That's my role in this run.
Would there be some more time for some more supportive donations?
Yes, go ahead.
Alright, I have a $10 from Epic Yogurt saying,
Hey, Yogurt.
Hey Kuro, long time watcher, first time ESA donator. Just wanted to say hi and most wanted hi.
Most wanted hype indeed. So, our car broke down. They let the engine oil out of our car, so we broke down. And we got the extra cash. If you have an Underground 2 save file on your PC, you get 10,000 extra cash, and you can buy the best starter car, which is also our car for the run.
Alright, I guess this is where you want to know the car color.
Yeah, we got about 2 more minutes to the car color, but yeah, let me know if you already know.
I mean, right now, pink is... Oh, no, actually someone donated for yellow, but yeah, pink is still leading, 146 to yellow 95, so if someone wants yellow really quickly...
Why those colors?
They have taste, man. They need to get some proper colors going. So, this is Mia.
What do you think?
She's the girl that hooked us up with the races in the city. So yeah, Razor took our car and got to Blacklist number 1. Actually, let's do this. We need to get a little bit extra money because we're changing color. So we're gonna do this race first. A little oddity about the Golf: as long as it doesn't have any extra performance upgrades, the perfect start RPM range is a little bit lower, and you tend to forget about it. If you have like 4 hours of run where you just for the very first version of the Golf, you can't. It's kind of weird, and I miss it sometimes. So, you might notice in the right upper corner it says lap 1 out of 1.
Can you
This is
boost me on
normally
A?
a 3-lap event.
So what's wrong?
It's a knockout race where, you know, racer gets eliminated every every lap. But that also means since we only have 1 lap, you have to be in the first lap, or you can't, because it's also working for them. So if for any reason you're not in first, you're gonna lose 1 out of the 3 laps, but already after the first one.
Where's the tunnel, please?
There we go.
It's being made.
So, when this race ends, I need to cut color.
Nothing to say.
Throwing smoke.
Why are some of them 1 lap and other them haven't been affected by the glitch?
So this one has also been affected, but it only shows it on the first race for some reason.
Oh,
so the lap glitch is still active, but it only shows it on the first race after you glitch.
Right. So you are just doing 1.
I'm neat time saver coming up right at the end. Which might be a surprise.
Actually, since this is so close, I want to just mention the color one more time. Yellow is now in the lead with 150, and right behind is pink with 146. So you only need $5 to snipe this if you want pink to win.
I'll tell you the very last moment when I can do it. when I enter the tuning shop, that is less than that. Maybe a few seconds afterwards. So yeah, here's the tuning shop, but the finish line is afterwards. So what do? Well, I crash into the wall. That is the fastest way to slow down, win the race, turn around, and get the car going. I'm gonna put on the engine upgrade first, so get a few more seconds to donate for a different color. So this is our first upgrade. We're gonna get the engine. Then we also gonna get a spoiler, because we need the downforce later. Aerodynamics part, and now the color.
And I'm refreshing the last time, and yellow won.
Yellow, okay. Yeah, let's take the intense yellow. That one's good. Like it. So, stock yellow. Actually, I've never done this in the yellow. Dude, if you actually have a yellow Golf, tweet at ESA. I want to see your yellow Golfs, because I have never seen a yellow Golf. I would love to. So first things first, we need to do certain milestones to trigger the boss fight. One of them are those speed traps here. So that gives us a nice chunk of bounty, and here comes the cop trick. Recently we figured out, when we start the events from the safe house, it actually forces the cops to spawn at the 37-second mark. That has been saving minutes, because it was always like pretty random if we actually got it or not, and it made the run very inconsistent. So this makes the run not only faster but also more consistent, like exactly the kind of glitches you want to have in any speedrun.
Hold this position.
Also, Shadow
Cover this area.
Probably my favorite soundtrack. Speeds out there.
How about
Go Wolf.
Take a look at the timer. 6. Hello.
Oh, please go Wolf.
This is actually consistent. We were enthusiastic to no end. That was such a crazy thing to discover. And that's actually pretty young. That happened this year. The thing is, you trigger the cops, but that doesn't guarantee you're actually gonna find them too. You know, if you're unlucky, you know, although you trigger the cops, they can spawn on any road close to you, and it might be a road that is not on the actual racetrack. There we go. So, the thing about finding cops during the race, you see that heat level in the left lower corner that says, you know, that fire flame ×1. It builds up that heat bar, and we're basically building up that heat bar while we are still in the race, so that actually saves the time 1-to-1. So if we have 30 seconds of cops in the race, we save 30 seconds of cop chase after the race.
And not only that, but we've now started the cop chase with multiple cops with us, whereas if we started the chase manually, we'd only have one.
So, in the right upper corner you see the milestones. The first thing I've already done, I traded paint with 2 of the cops. The 2 other incentives that I need to do is escape after 2 minutes, but in less than 4. And while doing that as exact as possible, I'm also gonna try to destroy as many cops as possible in that time window to create the most amount of bounty, because bounty is a limiting factor to unlock the bosses. So if I don't have enough of those, I need to do extra stuff basically. And yeah, we don't wanna invest any unnecessary time. So the idea is to take one of the cops out right here and there. Then I'm gonna wait for 4 cops to gather and then take them all out at the same time. The reason for that is pretty simple. There's a multiplier going on up until 3. So for every cop that you kill, it goes from 1 to 2 and then to 3 for max. So you want to kill as many cops in succession as you can. So we found 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Oh. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. The thing is, the cops can get stuck too. Yeah, wow, it was even too slow to break it. Now the cops are stuck on it too. The cops are pretty bad. They reverse and then they go forward again. And sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. There we go. That was a pursuit breaker. Those are huge area of effect. How should I say? Traps.
Yeah, the downwards red triangle on the map. Yeah,
exactly.
They're like stuff like, you know, holes with signs on, donuts and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So for example, all that have these red square, those instantly take out any cop that is following you.
And the idea is that it's supposed to cause enough damage to either disable the cops or make them have to stop to sort it out so they can't chase you anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That is what the game tells you. Okay, Sunny's looking for a run. Get our first boss fight. You know, either the cops get directly destroyed by the pursuit breakers, or exactly as you said, they have to stop to assess the damage. Save humanity from a broken donut or something. There's actually a giant donut shop. You're gonna see it. So our first boss fight is actually another golf, and therefore the most difficult one. No, not really, but it is actually the best Blacklist car.
Let's roll.
Because every single car can be fully upgraded. So even if you pick like your starter car, like the Golf, you can upgrade with the highest upgrades and can make it competitive to beat Lamborghinis, Porsches, whatever you can think of. Cars that cost a fortune in comparison. You know, cars where you could have like 30 Golfs instead. And yeah, boss fights are also not safe from lap glitching, so even during the bosses, done after the first lap. I was personally surprised how much you can actually save time on each and every race. Because, you know, when you start speedrunning this, you're like, okay, let's just get the cop chasers right and do everything in the right order. But it actually saves minutes just having the perfect racing line. You must not, even if it's an arcade racer, you must not underestimate how important it is to actually properly go around corners.
Yeah, how are the physics in this game?
I actually really like them.
Yeah.
Some people say, you know, the cars are a little bit too slidey, but the thing is, you actually have to do performance tuning on the cars. If you don't do that, it is true. A lot of the cars do not handle very well. For example, you know, people came from Underground and Underground 2 before this game, so they were used to that kind of handling. And in Underground, the cars are very good on stock, which is fairly true for these cars as well. But they really shine when you start doing performance tuning. That is, you know, the reason we got the spoiler in the first place, so we can tune the aerodynamics. Alternatively, you could put on the body kit, but it actually costs 5k, and the spoiler is only 1k. So, you know, since we are quite a bit money stuffed throughout the run, that has been very
go to
very
B,
easy to pick,
3A,
just the cheaper version.
at V.
It does the same thing. And I gotta be honest, visually, it looks a lot more interesting too. Kind of like having a spoiler on the hatchback. It's something different, right?
Because in theory, it's not supposed to work.
Does it make any sense at all? Like, would there even be airflow?
I mean, it is relevant to some point, not necessarily for acceleration, but normally you have it on the front and the back. So there's our first boss, and I'm gonna show you the first boss skip. You see the continue button? I press on the very right with my mouse button, and now I skip one of the bosses. This is the biggest glitch this game has to offer. So now, we only basically have to do half of the game. So we got the cache marker, which will allow us to instantly upgrade our car. Got another cutscene there. And since we finished the race earlier here, we are right next to the upgrade station. I did get Junkman brakes, which I normally don't need, but that's called marathon luck. Yeah, we get a little bit more braking power now. So yeah, with the first cache that we get after the gearbox and the suspension, the nitrous, tires.
Chad is very surprised about the half game skip.
Going like clockwork, man.
So yeah, once again, I mean, that was pretty crazy, and I'm pretty sure how they found it out was simply by, you know, if you played on PC and you play with keyboard mouse, it's kind of possible, you know, to hit the continue button on the right by mistake, right? That is probably the easiest explanation how it was found initially. But we actually didn't know that for a very long time. We did like a year of Most Wanted speedrunning where we had to do all the bosses, where the time was 6 hours instead of 3:45 now.
Throwing flashbang.
And it was like a huge time save and quite put life back into the community, let's say it like that.
Go, 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 go.
Here's my setup for a quick escape. You know, earlier I needed to be under 4 minutes. Now I want to do it as fast as possible. And this spawn here is perfect for that. You spawn next to a radio tower, you take out the cop instantly, and then you just drive directly back to your hideout, which is conveniently located 100 meters further away. So that is the quick escape in 15 seconds. And we're gonna use that a lot. So for the quick we need to do more lag glitches. In case you missed it earlier, we turn the lap number to 1, we turn off the traffic, and those settings carry over to the career mode. I'm actually surprised I did remember that. Because normally, like, you know, with my cheat sheet with all these detailed information, it's easy to get lost. Once again, we're gonna do the cop trick here. We start the event from the garage, and it should, well, it will spawn the cops at the 37-second mark again.
And away, this bomb.
Go, go, go.
So, as I mentioned earlier, performance tuning is relevant. Steering is going to make the steering response faster, and aerodynamics is just going to give me a lot more downforce for higher cornering speeds.
Nice yellow.
Game defies physics. Having a spoiler on the rear of a front-wheel drive car actually increases the aerodynamics. Increases the downforce.
It would be problematic because if you push down the back, you basically lift up on the front, so that only makes sense if you only would have a spoiler on the front too, right? You need downforce everywhere. With rally cars, they also have spoilers in the back, even the hatchbacks, right? So that does work, but you need to have a front spoiler normally too.
Or just have a rear-wheel drive car.
But I'll tell you one thing about the Golf, since it's front-wheel drive, it actually helps out a lot against cop chases, because the car can pull and push a lot more easier that way. A lot of the cars that are rear-wheel drive in this game get demolished by the cops, where you cannot even push anything. What you've seen me do there, instead of going in the middle, I went on the side, because in the middle you jump, and every time you jump, you lose a little bit of speed. Yeah, if I can evade that, if I can avoid that, I'll do it.
Let's get in and get out.
I know, right? It's a great mix of like metal, electro. Big fan of the soundtrack. So yeah, we did trigger the cops, but we didn't find them. That is what I mentioned earlier. You know, you have a higher chance because you trigger the cops very early and guaranteed, but you still might not find them.
Oh, I remember the
All the memories, right? Before I started playing this game, Most Wanted, it came out in 2005. It was a game that I played once a year. Like, once every year I was like, yeah, I need to play it. And every single time I had a blast. When it comes to good arcade races, I normally go back a decade or more to get games that I really enjoy. I mean, even Burnout is 10 years old by now, Burnout Paradise. I think that was also 2008.
It's almost so weird to think that 2008 was 10 years ago.
Yeah, right?
I remember the first time I ever played Burnout Paradise. It was the first time I'd ever seen an Xbox 360.
Oh.
So I my cousin passed me the controller and he said, "Hey, do you want to play?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I immediately just held down the bottom face button, burned on my boost, and then came to a stop. And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "No, you got to use the triggers now." And I was like, "Huh?" Like, that generational leap between PS2 and like Xbox 360 or PS3 or whatever.
Let's do this quick.
Changing the control scheme confused me to no end. Just like between PS1 and PS2 where something analog sticks are a thing.
Oh yeah, I remember when I first picked up my first PlayStation, then my first Xbox, and just changing controller was a lot. If you only ever played the Nintendo, especially Nintendo 64, the Trident of Doom. When you switch to a regular controller, you're like, what is this? Although it should be the other way around.
This is designed for someone with 2 hands. What is this madness?
Oh, hello. Yeah, rubber banding is a very prominent thing in this game. So you get them just randomly attacking. Also, they don't really drive like you do. They're kind of guided along the road. Depending on how the game kind of wants them to drive. Oh yeah, there's a nice tidbit about this game. 1.2. This is the version of the game which has all the patches. Versions afterwards do not include. But that's not the only side effect. 1.2 also has the strongest opponents. So they rubber band even harder. And even if you're on a world record pace, if you do everything perfect, you still might get beaten by them in some of the events. Not as a race, but as a speed trap. I'll explain that. So yeah, done after one lap. And yeah, there we go actually. This is a speed trap. So a speed trap is a sprint race with, well, speed traps on the way. And the way you win is accumulate the highest amount of speed at every speed trap. So it takes your total value of speed trap speeds. So right now I got 210. I'm actually in first. Which doesn't really matter that much. But you know, I mentioned rubber banding, right? This is when they catch up to you when you're in front. So they get faster. The game makes them faster than they should be. Like the top speed, maximum acceleration stats, just to catch up to you and make it more interesting. So that was kind of like the lazy way of developing back then. Rather than, you know, completely making them, look at this. Mustang says hello. So right now I'm not in first. It doesn't matter that much because there is one bonus you can do in this game. If you finish first, for every second that you finish ahead of the opponents, they are gonna lose 10 kilometers per hour. So let's say he's 10 kilometers faster than me. Let's make it easier. If he's 5 kilometers faster than me, just being 1 second ahead will deduct 10 kilometers from his stat, and I'm gonna win anyways. Most of the time I'm winning all over the board, so I got the best top speed and finish first, but that is not always the case. So I'm really happy they implemented that you don't have to, let's say, stick to the back just to, you know, avoid them from rubber banding.
What's happening is because they get further away from you, they go faster.
Exactly.
And like go through the speed trap at like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
That is exactly what's happening here. So we already done the monsters. The last thing is the cop chase. So since we didn't trigger the cops early, I'm gonna have to babysit these Condition 1 cops, the first level of heat, for about 2 minutes. So I can't destroy them if I wanna.
Not
weird, and they kind of fall over.
They are kind of the sun curd of this game.
I think one thing that always excited me as a kid, well, I was 16 when the game came out.
Oh god.
Well, it's fine.
Oh, okay, gun the Lord.
Every 40 seconds you get a new Condition 1 cup, so it kind of worked out. He kind of killed himself there. I turned around, he drove exactly in front of me and killed himself. But yeah, we're gonna keep babysitting them until the 2-minute mark.
Burger King.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, it's true. Hopefully we don't get in trouble with this. I think in Underground 2 was the only one. Underground 1 and 2.
Throwing a flashbang.
Do we have time for 2 quick donations?
Go ahead.
We have $55 from Fog, who said that he wanted yellow, not pink. And we also have $75 from Fog, who says, "Hey Kuru, good luck on the prison shortcut, ready for some sick flips. Also, don't get busted while reading chat. Much love from Fog and Ned."
I do have chat right up with me, but it's so far away I can't read it, so I will not read it.
Probably better than you don't.
I'm not even gonna try to attempt
Yeah.
to read anything. I'm gonna go fully concentrated here. The thing is, yesterday in practice, I was looking at my Twitch chat and I rolled over spikes twice. So I got busted 2 times just because I was a good streamer. Good streamer means you're a bad speedrunner, you know? Not necessarily, you know what I mean. So, oh yeah, I actually got the cops now. I'm past the 2-minute mark, so I can get it done. The reason why I need to wait 2 minutes is otherwise it will not trigger the backup. See right now, on the very bottom it says backup 2 minutes 55. Let's see. That's the radar up there, that shows you exactly where the next cup is gonna be. Okay, now we're gonna spend 3 minutes babysitting that guy until Condition 2. Well, a little bit earlier. I think Condition 2 is gonna kick in at probably 1 minute backup left, something around that. Maybe a little bit more.
It's funny that even in casual play, you still kind of have to babysit the cops.
Oh
to
yeah,
get a milestone.
that is true.
Yeah, no, it's not just like a speedrun thing. If you've played this game, you know that early on they're so fragile that you need to, like, you know, do the milestones and stuff. Yeah, you'd have to like babysit them for a bit, and then eventually you get tons of them, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, and you have to actually play.
Yeah, it's all about the backup. For example, if I take out that Condition 1 cup right now, there's a chance I don't find another one, then the entire backup timer resets once I find the next one, so... and you don't want that. The most important thing in this stage is to get the backup going again. Otherwise you're not gonna create enough bounty to actually finish this chapter. Since we are skipping every second boss, we are starved on pretty much everything. We don't have enough money, we don't have enough bounty, we don't have... actually that's it. We don't have enough money and we don't have enough bounty. So we have to do a little bit extra on every cop chase. Good thing, it makes it more consistent. Because you have to do so many things, you kinda end up doing everything anyways. So you always get completion at a very consistent time. Because later on we got milestones where you have to do 5+ minutes, 6+ minutes, 7+ minutes cop chases that gives you rewards in extra amount of bounty. And yeah, it made it actually more consistent. All of the Need for Speed's glitches that we found so far make the run faster, but also more consistent. So I'm really happy with how this speedrun shapes up in general.
I wish my speed games were like that.
Yeah, that is probably not. That's more the exception than anything else.
Yeah.
The annoying thing about the having to babysit the Condition 1 cops is that you have to do it again later on.
Yeah. Alright, Guru, well, we've got a minute left. Chat is discussing the best. I want you to try to guess what chat has agreed is the best BBC game about.
Die Hard.
Underground 2.
Okay, well.
That is what they said.
Yeah.
I know what they say, I know what I say. For me it's Most Wanted. Hands down.
Yeah. I played both when they came out, and I can see why both are good, but the police are just so good though.
Yeah, the police are so good. I mean, I remember I just played against Condition 5 Cops all the time. Just love the music, I love the chases, I love the excitement of the game. Probably the first nerdgasm I ever had in my life was probably just playing with cops for hours on end. Just creating really normally only see moves. It was something completely new that I haven't had in any other game. Okay, now we're gonna get the backup in 10 seconds. And the way this game works, whenever the backup kicks in, cops fall all over the town. All of a sudden, every single cop got out of their bed and they're out to hunt you. So you're gonna see cops randomly spawn all over the map now. So yeah, see, I saw one in the back there, coming for me. I expect. Oh, a roadblock, nice. So that is a very rare event. You only have 10% spawn chance. So actually getting those is very unlikely. The problem is, in the next chapter we actually need to find 2 of them, optimally within 5 minutes. So we're gonna use even more speed breakers here to take down the cops in succession and get a nice combo bounty going. I'm gonna kill some extra cops on the way to my hideout. Josh, do you like going to the water park?
Maybe, why?
Season, what about you?
I mean, I can do.
Okay, let's go to the water park then, right here. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, hey.
So let's park here, right? I think that's pretty good. We got our we can chill here for a bit until the cops don't see us anymore, and then we just park and having some. Get your things. Water slide coming up. And where's So, and that unlocked Vic. Next boss fight.
It's so funny how the hardest part about the police chases is keeping on the police chase, and when you want to end it, you just immediately end it.
Yeah, there are 2 very important spots in the starting area, which I mainly are gonna use for the cop chases, that are very consistent for escaping. Guess what? Cops at the donut shop. They don't really care that we're street racing right now. They're not even gonna follow us. You know, it looks like there would be like a cop chase coming up in the race, right? Nah, they just keep digging in on their donuts. And we're taking down another Blacklist member, Vic. The community better known as Victim. I know, I love the Supra 2 guys, I know, but it is not good in this game, I'm sorry.
I don't know how silly the golf looks with the spoiler.
The thing is, you get used to it. It is something that, you know, it looks weird at first, especially you see golfs all day. If you actually go outside of the house, unlike me, you see golfs all over the place, and yeah, it takes some time to get used to it. You know, after a year of speedrunning this, you're not gonna find it weird anymore.
Whenever I look at it, it just reminds me of like crappy modded cars I see on UK roads. They all look awful, like different color body parts.
Proper racers. Yeah. Maybe we should get a carbon hood too.
They all have exhausts that are like that big.
Yeah. It's like the upgrades probably cost more than the car.
That is true. That is true. I mean, the color was $1,000. In comparison, the engine upgrade was 5k. I don't know if that relation seems anywhere right. I wouldn't pay $1,000 just to get a yellow color, but I mean, you guys, you know what you want. What was the amount of donations for yellow?
150, I think.
Yeah, 150 something like that.
Quite a lot. Crazy.
Yeah, Chad agrees with me. It looks like a chav car. Yeah.
Damn it, I forgot my editor's tracksuit. Next time. So one thing that I kinda started to realize the better I got at the game, you don't even need to use the brake that much. You know, you don't need brakes, they just slow you down. You're just gonna let go of the gas, and as long as you're on the racing line, you should be fine.
Is it like if you stop accelerating, your grip suddenly improves
Yeah,
like 200%?
I mean that's the same with free cars too.
Well,
like,
yeah.
the moment you ease off the throttle, the car's gonna have an easier time turning. And yeah, it's the same thing here. So it is arcade, but it does listen to the physics.
Yeah.
Unless we go to prison, then it doesn't.
Molotov.
And the second race.
Setting the bomb. Oh yeah.
It's insane how good that soundtrack is. There's like, there was only one song that I didn't like as a teenager, but you know it grew on me, and now like the entire soundtrack is just godlike. Rare sight having a blacklist map actually in front of us.
Take it.
That ain't happening, bro.
Yeah,
Move
take
it, move it. No way.
Now the Supra is essentially not really that good in this game, but then for Carbon they made it good.
Yeah, they really dropped the ball on the Supra in this game. If I would compare it to Golf, it has less handling, less acceleration, and I think the same top speed, but top speed doesn't really matter in most racing games. It's all about how fast can you go around corners and how fast can you accelerate. And another reason why we picked the Golf over the other starter cars, there's the Lexus IS 300, the Fiat Punto, and what's the fourth car?
There's Cobalt SS.
Yeah, the Cobalt SS. You don't take these cars either. Well, first of all, they're all slower than the Golf. And the Golf is actually heavy enough to properly fight against cops. So you have like the perfect car here. So it makes sense that was the car that you only get to buy in the beginning if you played Underground 2 before.
Throwing flashbang.
Not only that, but if you have the Underground 2 money, you actually start with more.
That is true, that is true. Not only can you buy the Golf, but you also get a little bit of extra cash, which is relevant to get the first upgrades, like the engine upgrade, as well as the spoiler.
If you buy the Golf, you start with 5,000, and if you buy the Cobalt, which we have to do on the 360 version,
yeah,
which is the one that I run, because I don't have a PC good enough to run this game, because I run on a potato laptop, you start with 4,000.
Yeah, and another boss skip, you hit the continue button on the right. There we go, Izzy. As beautiful as she is not gonna be one of our opponents. So we got his car, and we're gonna sell that because we do need that extra money later on.
So do you
actually just a second? I'm gonna sell the car first because I might actually be short on money already. So getting 20k for Supra. We got no leverages here, so straight back. What do you want to say?
Sorry, so because you only beat half the bosses, you get like half the reward stuff.
Exactly, yeah. Since since you're not beating the races, you're not getting the money. You are getting all the upgrades though, like they are unlocked as you would have beaten them.
Okay.
So we got all the upgrades available, but we still have to. We still have to buy them.
So you're essentially playing with like half money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm short on money all the time, and I gotta be really careful how I'm gonna advance through the game. So yeah, we got our first Junkman upgrade that is actually useful. So after every boss you can choose a unique performance upgrade. This time it was the gearbox, and the Junkman gearbox increases your acceleration actually. Normally when you equip a new gearbox it makes the gears longer, therefore increases your top speed but not the acceleration. Although the in-game, you know, the acceleration slider goes up, it's not true. It just makes the gears longer and therefore you have higher top speeds. And that is also the reason we're not gonna buy the last transmission, because it makes the gears so long that it destroys our acceleration and actually loses you time. Definitely something I did wrong as a as a teenager when I played the game for the first time. Just equip everything. Ooh, I might have. Let's see, Tori, how much do you have? That traffic crash slowed me down too much. There's no way I'm winning this race.
You get to go to the fish festival again.
And I'm hungry. Did you get any of those Swedish fish already?
No. Have you heard about the thing in the can that you open it and it's like
Surströmming.
like death? Yeah.
I heard about it. Everyone urged me to buy one. I'm like, no. And then people even told me about that. It's actually not allowed on most airlines. You know, it kind of counts as a weapon because you know if this opens for some reason, you spread pestilence throughout the entire flight.
Like chemical warfare. If you
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of sulfur involved with all those fantastic smells. I'm still surprised, something that smells and tastes that badly can still be eaten. Yeah, we're much better now. We are still not in first, but that is fine. Since we are so far ahead, we are not gonna have any trouble beating this event now. Yeah, whenever you see that slowdown, I'm using the speed breaker. Slows down the game time, gives you more time to react, but much more important for me is that it gives me more grip. So I can actually evade stuff that I normally would not be able to evade. Oh, they actually missed the last speed trap. Thing is, if you finish that quickly, they miss the speed trap and they never ever get the value for it, so it's like a free win. But that only works if you go really far ahead.
2 mid. Yellow. What the fuck?
Yeah.
2 mid. Careful.
I'm pretty sure that was also the reason why, just a lot of people jumped on this speedrun as their entertainment for several weeks. Just getting the nostalgia of the soundtrack. And it's like a really well-rounded, fantastic gameplay combination with an insane soundtrack. Those are the games that you remember best.
Flashbang. Using the bomb.
Unlike the newer version of
We're not talking about that game. Well, up until the next Need for Speed Marathon runs, maybe it gets in there. It was a very sad excuse to use the most wanted title for a game.
Let's go!
Every time you do that, it just reminds me of GTA 5.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's his name?
Incendiary.
No.
Franklin. Yeah, Franklin has a very similar ability. But in GTA 5 it also accelerates faster.
Yeah.
In this case it only gives and more time to react. Which is still very overpowered. And actually the only means to properly fight back against the cops, once you're at condition 4 and 5, they are brutal and they will lock you down unless you use the speed breaker to break free.
We have time for a couple of quick more donations.
Go ahead.
We have $25 from Ward Moped, who says, "Hello Kabu, good luck and with your run and don't get debated by Condition 1 cops." And $10 from Makibaki, "Hey Kuru, good luck with your run, let's get the 345, also let's see that cutscene."
Let's see that cutscene. Where are we at for the incentive, by the way?
Give me 2 seconds and I'll let you know. When do you want the time to end for it?
It is very close to the end, so like 3:30, 3:40. It is really close to the end. It's like in the last 5 minutes of the run. But it's a donation incentive. We don't really want to have it end, right? We just want to we want to reach it, right?
Certainly. We are currently $55 out of 400 for that, so everybody please keep donating.
I mean, you got 3 hours.
Yeah, you guys got 3 hours to kill that girl. Actually, let's double it. Just double it, guys. Just do 800 out of 400. Let's set him. You really want to see that last cutscene, trust me. It's so good. Even if you've never seen the game, you're gonna chuckle at that one.
And without, I'm trying to think about which one it is without spoiling it for anyone who hasn't seen it before.
I don't even know. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy it.
There you go. So one more speedy event, speed trap event. This is one of the more difficult ones, I think so. These are the only events that actually can beat me. Even if you drive perfectly, sometimes, you know, the rubber band is so strong and they destroy the speed traps so incredibly hard, like 100 kilometers faster than you in the same speed trap, that... yeah, sometimes you just lose, no matter what you do. I do get an advantage here though, because they're actually driving this first corner normally. I just go race line, don't brake at all, and crash into the wall afterwards, just to get as much speed as possible on that first speed trap and get a head start. Because afterwards they are gonna be heavily they have a benefit over me. Because I'm actually that far ahead, they go really, really fast. You know, if you take a look at the like race summary of the race, you know, my top speed is like 250, then you look at them and they're like 350. Like, yeah, right. I'm like the third boss in the game, and they got like a 350 km/h Lexus, right? Oh yeah, the slow-mo that I used there at the jump. The thing is, whenever you jump, you lose speed. When you use the slow-mo, your car gets heavier and grippier, so you push. So you don't jump as far, and you don't lose as much speed. It's all about keeping that average speed as high as possible. Right now, this looks really good. I'm very far ahead.
Roger that.
So even though they're gonna beat me, that's a really good value, 1778. Should have a win here. Yes. Yeah. They were like 6 seconds behind, so that was fine.
I think you won by like 6 kilometers. Oh, 6. Oh,
yeah, it was 60. Nice. Okay, our first drag event. People hate drag events in this game because there's traffic. And there's a very specific route for every single drag race. And if you don't know that one, there's a very high chance you're either gonna lose or you're gonna crash into traffic.
Let's get this done.
Also, during drag events, because you know it's dramatic and everything.
Right there, a minute ago, you were going to run a blind right-hand corner of a car coming from the right.
Yeah.
Instinctively, I would have gone to the left. There's a truck on the left.
Yeah,
like,
you would
they
have
did that on purpose.
Yeah, you know, I know. You would have died, and I definitely did die when I. So we're gonna pick up a speed trap here, and then we're gonna jump into the cop chase, which has the highest random amount of events happening there, where we might spend 2 minutes extra just because we're not finding roadblocks. Since we are very strong on the bounty, we need to get all the milestones, including the two roadblocks. And as I mentioned earlier, for every trigger on the map where roadblock can spawn, during condition 2, where we are at right now, we have a 10% chance. So if you pass you should get 1. So we should at least hit 20 triggers to, on average, hit the 2 roadblocks, which in practice feels even more unlikely than 10%, gotta be honest. Okay, and that cop decided to not follow us.
He drove into a wall.
Yeah, he drove actually into a side road instead of actually following us.
Let's go.
Shout out to the Rockport Police Department. You guys, I don't know. Okay, see that? See that on the mini map? We lost another one. I'm gonna wait up for him. He might actually be stuck on the side. Yeah. No? Whatever. Let's take the bounty. I don't think... yeah, he might actually have a brain aneurysm or something. Let's go. So, we got 2 cops now. Doesn't really matter. As I said, the most important thing is gonna be spawning the roadblocks. Funny thing, if you don't find the cops during a race, it takes at least 1 minute and 10 seconds for the first roadblock to spawn. So, we are like 1:30 now. It is actually possible for roadblocks to even spawn. Okay, we got 5 cops on us. That is the highest amount of condition 2 you can get at once following you. So I'm gonna use them to get the maximum amount of bounty here. Slow down a little bit, let them catch up, take them out all at once, get the maximum amount of bounty. Keep going, and yeah, keep going. Another one. And yeah, we're still looking for open.
The radio scanner that you can hear in Torment is so good. It's really well made.
Oh yeah, it actually sounds. It's really immersive.
Yeah.
This game in general, the sound design of this game is absolutely amazing. Hey, we found our first roadblock. Not bad. Not bad getting our first roadblock in the first 2 minutes. That is a good pace. You know, I get a little bit nervous when I'm like 4 minutes in and I haven't had a roadblock yet. And I know it's about a 5-minute chase. Best tip I can give you, whenever you're doing... Whenever the backup is inactive and the backup timer is running, try to hunt roadblocks, because you're not gonna get many cops anyways. No, when the backup is here, take them out. When the backup is not here, look for roadblocks.
Yeah, stay.
Look at the minimap, cop got stuck on the gas station. I guess he ran out of fuel. Come on.
Why does the HUD disappear when you look backwards?
I don't know, but I know, it's kind of immersive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's weird.
You know, sometimes I even look back so I just don't see the busted meter. to not, you know... great, he just killed himself. He drove into the donut shop, of all things. Big surprise there.
He's just taking a break.
Yeah, he was just really hungry there. Okay boy, follow me. So we're nearing the 4-minute mark. Doesn't really matter. I wanna escape after I took down the next backup. So as long as I'm still... Wow. The gas station here as well. He survived though. That guy at least is smart enough not to hit the gas pumps.
Would they really explode though if you drove in there?
Probably not. I'm pretty sure that's just video game physics. I mean, I'm not gonna try it out. I mean, I've seen a video where like a truck hits a gas station and then the entire thing collapses on top of everyone. That was crazy. Nothing exploded though, so I really do think the gas station is not gonna explode. So, really good RNG here. We got the 2 roadblocks and the cop upside down, so free bounty for us. Let's take out some more cops. Because I want to aim for about 50,000 bounty. And therefore we're gonna extend the cop chase as long as we have backup active. Oh, another roadblock. Marathon luck. That is mostly to just get a little bit extra bounty. Because, you know, the other cops, they just go into the roadblock like maniacs as well. Kill even more cops and they get even more bounty. Also, the cops in the roadblocks, they don't count to the backup, so it's basically extra bounty that you can gather. You know, if you take these out, the guys that are following you, the game might actually, you know, start the backup timer again. So I'm gonna try to go for one more set of cops at the water tower, which is conveniently right next to the hideout I was aiming for. That is like, that you really need to think ahead when you're playing this game. And you know, okay, the next set of backup, if I take them out, I'm gonna be escaping right after.
You don't even need the thing.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing right now. Come on, follow me and die. No, he evaded. Either way, this is the perfect hideout. I call it the perfect hideout because the cops cannot follow you, and even if a chopper is on you, since they're, you know, we can hide here, the chopper will not see you either. And sub 6 minutes, this is fantastic.
Grenade out.
So Big Lou is not ready for the boss yet. Actually, let me check something. Why? What did I think I didn't do the quick escape yet. Yeah, that's very likely. Didn't have enough bounty because I didn't do the quick escape yet. The quick escape is from the last boss, which still carries over. So I'm gonna complete a milestone from the last boss.
So how is the routing for this game? Obviously, you have to do certain milestones.
You have to do you have to have a certain. Interesting. Oh yeah. I'll explain in a second. First, easy, and then good. So what happened there, if you escape on the very edge of the escaping zone, it lets you escape, but it doesn't transport you to the safe house. That is super inconsistent. Don't do it on purpose ever. It happens or it doesn't happen. I try to do it on purpose, but even when I try to aim exactly for the border, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I kind of gave up on forcing that. So now we unlock the boss, and the thing is, you need to unlock the boss first before you can lap glitch his events. So now we're gonna jump into the single player mode again, change the lap mode to 1, turn off the traffic, carry those settings over to Korea and challenge the boss, Big Lou.
I think I had a cop chase where I got that evasion glitch, but a cop was still right there.
Yeah, and then he instantly engages another cop chase.
Yeah.
That is, I know, it's fantastic, because in this game the cops don't just disappear when you do that. They actually stay on the map, they see you instantly, and they are gonna follow you right there and then again. I'm an Eclipse fan, but miss me with that livery. That's not for me.
I quite like the Tiger, I just don't like the body kit. Looks like it doesn't fit.
Yeah, that is pretty much the takeaway there. It doesn't fit. Actually, I'm not too mad about the body kit. It's really that cat on the side that's so edgy. Like, even you won't even find it on a Ryza, right? It's much more likely to find some anime girls on a car than that. So yeah, once again, we just did the lap glitch, so you can actually see it in the right upper corner. Now it actually tells you it's 1 out of 1 laps. But in the next race, it's actually gonna be normal again, although it is lap glitched. A little info about, you know, the roads. You have the best acceleration and grip on the road. The off-road actually takes away a lot of your handling, you will start drifting, and the acceleration also suffers. It's pretty okay to keep your speed, you're not gonna slow down massively at all, but it will gimp your acceleration and handling.
Roger that.
And there we go, 125, 1 lap.
Throwing smoke.
It saves so much time. Laps. This race has 3 laps normally, and one of these laps is like 1 minute 30 or 1 minute 45, something like that. Yeah, I think it's 1:45. So we're saving alone 3.5 minutes lap glitching the second event, and over 5 minutes the entire boss fight.
It's just a different start location.
No, it's a little different. Since it's, you know, it's really there's gonna be a boss coming up that actually has 2 identical tracks in his lineup. There's Webster, but we're not there yet. Yeah, I'm gonna speed brake there, so I don't lose too much speed. I love News Channel 22, please tune in. It's one of those cars that is just very abundant in this game, and you just tend to hit it a lot because of it. It has a giant hitbox, and it is just everywhere. Sorry, Lou. Oh, he actually blocked me. Yeah, all over the game there are shortcuts. Take them. I don't think there's a single shortcut in this game that is not worth taking. There are some alternative paths, but you can clearly tell that it's not a shortcut when you see them.
I mean, prison.
Prison. It is a shortcut, but a very difficult one. Or let's say a very inconsistent one. The funny thing is, even if you fail it, you're still faster. Quite a bit too. But you can clearly tell, this is a shortcut. Just look at the minimap. That was number 11 on the blacklist. So, one more boss skip. Hit the continue button on the very right. With your mouse, you need a mouse, doesn't work on console. And now the game thinks we beat Baron, and we're gonna skip one of the bosses into again. Basically doing all the odd ones, so next up is Earl.
Have you ever done that run that were just even bosses instead?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did to compare it, you know, where just... it works pretty good. You cannot skip raises, so you cannot skip one, but you can skip all the other odd ones. But it is quite a bit slower, because you end up having to do one more boss.
Call it even percent instead.
Oh, amazing. We actually have enough money, so which we can buy everything. You are money starved, as I mentioned earlier, but we did get enough cash markers and sold the Supra, so we do have enough money to get all of the upgrades, as well as the Junkman upgrades that we got from the boss. And you know, stacking the regular upgrades with the Junkman upgrades that you get from beating bosses, you just make the Golf into an absolute monster. So once again, I do the speed traps right after tuning. First of all, because after tuning my car's faster, and second of all, I start with a full NOS bar, so I can be a little bit faster setting up the speed traps. If I spawn here without NOS, it's gonna take a lot longer. So we're gonna do the quick escape, and then do the lap glitches for Earl. Oops. The thing is, this is the only time the Golf spawns differently. That's the only chapter where it does that and drives straight into that barrier thing. On all the other occasions, you can easily evade it. Yeah, we already got. So, lap glitch number 12. We actually need to lap glitch less events that we're actually driving, because we figured out some of the lap glitches carry over to multiple tracks. So shoutouts to Respect, he figured that out and, you know, tested for the fastest route possible. So I didn't have to do it, I'm very thankful for that. So shoutouts to you, Respect, thank you, man. For example, this one lap glitch there is enough, although we got 2 glitched events in total. Actually, yeah, 3. Actually, 3 events that are lap glitch now, although we only glitched one of them. One thing that I love in this game, I can actually use the entire track for the perfect racing line. In newer games, you know, when you have like a sidewalk and you drive on it, your car either completely loses control, shoutouts to Need for Speed Payback, where, you know, you go over the sidewalk and your car just flips like crazy. It goes like 5 meters into the air all of a sudden, or it does nothing depending on what the physics decide to do. This game can actually probably use the entirety of the track.
Let's roll.
Oh yeah, do your VODs normally get muted for this game?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
That's all copyrighted soundtrack for like 13 years now, and you know, YouTube's picking up, Twitch is picking up, and you get nice sections of just muted goodness.
Yeah, so if you're watching this live, you're getting the good stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Watching this later probably won't be the same.
Absolutely. I know when I started speedrunning this game, there was only one song that was flagged, and now it's like I think 50% of the soundtrack, so it really doesn't matter at this point anymore.
Black flagged? Don't you mean blacklisted?
Yeah, I gotcha. This is the number 15 song on the blacklist. Oh yeah, this is a very interesting drag event, because I actually have to go into oncoming traffic for the fastest racing line. I used to be on the right hand side, but you tend to get overtaken by rubber band. Okay, they all crashed. Great run, indeed. So there are 2 ways you can do a perfect launch. I'm used to revving the engine fully up and then let the needle drop, because it drops at a constant rate, so it's kind of easy to know when you need to let go and then you just hit it. It's a lot more consistent for me rather than, you know, just pressing at the right moment to just hit it when you rev up. I much prefer it that way, and yeah, yielded a lot better results.
Move it, move it. Decoy.
You can see me cutting over if it's necessary. Most of the time I want to stick to the roads as much as possible, because the acceleration is better, but sometimes just anything.
Just tire individually?
Oh yeah, if any of your tires is on the off-road part, you will notice.
It works the same for spike strips as well. You drive one tire over a spike strip and essentially you just grind to a halt. Even if it's there straight.
If you're really talented, you can manage to just break the right tire on the back over a spike strip. Let's say you drift over it or something. I love the traffic in this game. They just ruin street signs, lampposts. They don't really care.
We have time for a really quick donation?
Go ahead.
Okay, we have a $100 donation from
Damn.
MepMep. Hi, I'm Josie Moran and I play Mia in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Make sure you do all your racing in the game, on the street, drive safely and responsibly, and wear your seatbelt. Good luck, have fun to Kuru HD for the rest of the run.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, those warnings at the start, yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's the very first cutscene you get introduced into the game.
And it's normally always the female
Yeah.
that gives the warning.
It's always the Need for Speed girl that gives you that seatbelt warning. The thing is, you remember in Underground 1 there was actually a race driver that they used for tuning the cars in Underground? Mark DeVellis or something? I think that's about right. That's the one time where I remember a guy doing it, and afterwards it was always the female actresses for the Need for Speeds.
I wonder if that was like a requirement by the rating boards, or EA decided to do it themselves, or what?
Good question.
Any EA devs in the chat?
Any EA devs in the chat? please make something like this. If anyone from Ghost is watching, it would be games. How about you make something like this? I would very much appreciate it. Or Underground 2. Would be fun. Would be fun as well. Back to the roots.
I made this game smiley face.
No, I did. Smile. It's so good. And sub 120, really good time. I bet the chat's all smiley faces.
You can see it, can't you?
I can see it in the corner of my eye. Shoutouts to everyone in chat, you guys are awesome. Oh, the first time in prison.
Oh, hey.
So, if I don't want to flip my car, I actually have to use the speed breaker to land a little bit earlier, just to get enough stabilization. Otherwise I jump just a little too far. I'm just gonna tumble down like tumbleweed. Wow, that was a great comparison.
There are some great clips of you having the best time on that.
Oh yeah. Actually, at the ESA booth back there at the Elgato streaming station, I did a double front flip for the very first time in my life. I used the Fiat Punto and I clipped with the back bumper while jumping down, instantaneously flipped forward, landed on my roof, and then did another 1.5 flips for a perfect double front flip. If any one of my viewers is in chat, and I'm not sure if you actually can share clips in chat, try it out. Let's see if ESA allows you to. Okay, this is our last race here. Sadly, I cannot use the cop trick here to spawn cops on purpose, so we're just gonna have to start it vanilla. I always use the second bounty location as a starting point for the cop chases. This has been very successful, convenient, easy. So, we're gonna babysit the condition 2 cop for a little bit. We're gonna trigger condition 3 very, very soon. I need at least 4 roadblocks and a 5-minute cop chase. Those are 2 of the milestones from the last boss that I'm still gonna complete. That is what I meant. Since I'm doing the milestones of 2 bosses at once, it gets very consistent because you basically have to do everything anyways.
Chat's seen the clip of the flip, they love it.
Awesome.
I'll have to watch it at the end.
You do have to watch it. I mean, I did backflips there, I did side flips, I did barrel rolls, I got everything in Prison done already. And then I did the double front flip. I haven't done a double backflip yet. I did do an absolute perfect backflip, which is just as insane, but the double front flip yesterday was it yesterday? I think it was. It was very special. Wow, that is really good luck. Those rhinos are worth 3 times as much bounty as the rest of the cops.
Me?
So taking
We're
those
not supposed
out
to sneak
is
here.
actually gonna
They
help
know
me
that
out
we're
quite
here
a bit.
anyways. They're
But
holding
it's
us,
hard.
so-
They are really heavy.
Might this one
So
run?
pushing them over in the
Throwing
first place
flashbang.
is not an easy feat.
Did they go
Nope,
away?
they really do not wanna.
That's good.
Today. Ah, there we go.
Do the AI race
They can take out the cops and you will get the bounty.
Oh, okay.
I don't care how they wreck, as long as they wreck you get the bounty. Okay, we got a lot of cops on us now. One thing that I always look out for in the cop chase is to not lose them. If you lose them, you don't get the bounty, but it still counts as that you lost them, so I really do not want that to happen. So another thing, you see the roadblock on the other road there? I pass it on a different road and it still counts as passing the roadblock. That is actually very important. Especially when you're gathering an extra amount of cops. Sometimes you can manipulate the cops just by driving in a very certain way and they start ramming each other and, you know, flipping each other over. Works sometimes.
Flashbang.
So those are rhinos. The rolling roadblocks coming from the front. That's where we'll often use this break and just to evade them.
Throwing a grenade.
So once again the backup is inactive, so I'm looking around the world map to spawn extra roadblocks. Best way to get extra bounty and of course the milestones.
There's so many of your clips in chat now.
We are on a really good pace for the necessary amount of roadblocks. Got 3 already, 4 is the minimum, 6? 6 would be perfect. What was what?
Look, the car flipping in front of you, just
Oh,
kept
yeah.
going.
Yeah. Well, it has a lot of force after, you know, crashing into a car from the side of 250, right? And since using the speed breaker, like all of the force is applied to the cop car. Oh, another roadblock. Let's go. I actually really hate going into this area, and I didn't want to because it is prone to crashing. Anything close to the stadium, starting at condition 3 and later, likes to crash the game. So I want to get out of here as fast as I
Listen to the voice, to the noise when you plant the bomb.
can. Also, we're gonna have
Then
the
it
backup
rushes
kicking in 10 seconds.
Flashbang.
Yes, I had 5 minutes and I'm aiming for about 170,000 bounty. Stunning circle.
I love all those trucks are intentionally designed.
They are intentionally designed for you to pass exactly through them.
As is proved in a cutscene that we don't see.
That is true. No, actually we do see it during the Baron. No, never mind. Never mind. Baron gets skipped. You're right. Try to be clever there. Never works. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for them to catch up. Boys. So this is basically exactly what I wanted to happen. I got my 4 roadblocks. I got the backup, and I got the 5 minutes coming up. Cop chase. I might extend for a few extra seconds, just so I get the necessary bounty. So yeah, we got the 5-minute time challenge now, and now I'm basically just waiting for the game to spawn me more cops. There's an extra roadblock, but it's not really worth taking right now. Perfect, actually. Yeah, Josh, how about another trip to the water park? What do you think? I really like that water slide.
It's so ridiculous.
And yeah, once you're in the hiding spot, although the cop is right there, he doesn't see us. He can't see us. So we are gonna need actually 2 more speed. Ah, I got so close. I aimed for 1 extra speed trap, but I gotta do 2. But yeah, if you're short a little bit of bounty, this is fairly easy to accomplish. Oh right. How much was it? 240. I just needed to hit the nose button there. I was just a tiny bit too slow.
I'm going A.
Yeah, if you're limited on nose, use it later rather than earlier. It's a little bit more efficient if you use it in the higher gears. Because a lot of shifting is happening. Yeah, I'm missing 3k bounty. Fantastic.
So are you playing with manual or automatic?
In this game you really want to play auto. First of all, the automatic actually shifts at the right RPM ranges, so it's not like the Underground games or Carbon, where you have a lower RPM max in automatic, so it actually shifts properly. But much more important than that is during the cop chases, because when you ram into a cop and you instantaneously get to a halt and you go from like 5th to 1st gear, that is a pain in the ass to shift like 4 times down and not miss shift and then get busted because of it. Automatic just bam, right gear, thank you. So here it is, Rubber Band Earl. This is actually the hardest boss in the entire game, and the reason for that is rubber banding. Also, did you notice his 4-wheel drive burnout there? all of the wheels were spinning at once.
Is it even a 4-wheel drive car?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He has an Evo.
I'm not a car person. It's a blue car.
It's a blue car with white stripes. Nice. So we talked about rubber banding before, and his car not only is it 4-wheel drive, it also has 4-wheel drive. It has a lot of acceleration stats, and the more acceleration stat the cars have, the harder they will rubber band, and this so Earl has a very easy time on catching up to you in both of his boss races. So here's another bump where I really like to use this speed breaker just to stay close to the ground. Because that jump right before the speed trap kills a lot of your speed. That way we don't jump as far and we lose less speed.
It's really hard to not like sing along with
Yeah, I know, I'm trying really hard. I'm right there with you, man. Oh, this speed trap is fun. If you go too far to the right, you skip it, which makes you lose the event. The hitbox of that speed trap is really small, so if you somehow manage to get too far to the right, take it, and you're gonna lose because of that, although you finish way before him and you were way faster. It doesn't trigger, so it's not like a checkpoint system where you have to hit them all. You can actually miss them, because obviously none of the developers thought that's even possible, so they didn't think of, you know, counting them as actual checkpoints that you need to pass. And yeah, this is the second race where he actually is difficult. He likes to debate you a little bit. He crashes in the beginning and then comes back from like a 1 kilometer deficit. So if he's gonna crash, he's gonna do it really soon.
Let's go.
Because he goes for the shortcut, which is not the shortcut. When he tries to come back, yeah, he already loses speed, and then on this corner, if at all, he's gonna get stuck.
Flashbang.
Ah, he did it this time. So yeah, now I can take the very right. Well, that's speed trap being there.
Plant.
What I like to do is hit the tall booth instead of my brakes because it slows me down
Ready.
absolutely perfectly for that.
Planning.
It's basically hardcore brakes.
Throwing flashbang.
So a couple of weeks ago, we kind of did a little. We kind of had a race of this, and this race lost me like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I did mention that Earl is the hardest boss in the game, right? And that is for a very good reason. So if he can beat the world record holder, trust me, he will beat anyone on their first casual playthrough. He did beat me multiple times too. If you don't have the right car, if you don't have the right tuning, if you don't know how he works when it comes to rubber banding, you are going to lose to him.
Does the multiplayer for this game still work?
Not officially.
Oh, okay, but there's like community servers.
Yeah, exactly. Pick your favorite LAN software and you can still play with others.
Throwing a decoy.
So Earl's catching up. Let's see how close he gets this time. He's about 200 meters behind right now, but we got a long straight coming up. And a lot of uphills where he doesn't really care that it's going uphill. He just accelerates normally. I would love to say that was kinda on purpose.
I was gonna ask.
I did salvage it though. At least I aligned my car in a way where I could still take the apex. Oh, look at Earl! Look at Earl taking a shot at us. That was his first attack, and trust me, it gets worse from here on out. Earl versus the world record holder. He actually gets really difficult in all these very tight corners coming up, because he really doesn't care how fast you're supposed to go through here, and he will attack. This is where you really wanna, abuse the speed breaker, stay as far on the inside as you possibly can, so he does not have a shot at, passing you on the inside, because if he actually does pass you here, you are going to lose. Once you're on this straight here, and he's in front of you, you lose. And finish line coming up. Goodbye, Earl. Ah yeah, the only guy that actually has a shot at us. One more time, I'm gonna do the boss skip, because we only like to play half of this game. Hit the continue button on the right of the mouse, very important.
So, do you ever explain why that works?
We don't know why it works.
Oh, okay.
We assume it's like a remnant from the development days where they just had something in place where they just quickly skip some of the game. We just know that it works. We don't know why it works. We had plenty of people look into the game's code, but it never made sense to them. So we get the junk on turbo here. And we get the new tires. I did say we don't need brakes, they just slow us. I'd still like to get some brakes here. Because now from this point on, we do have enough cash, so we can buy them. But up until that point, it is really unnecessary. So quick escape again, spawn near the tower, take out the cop, and right back to our hideout. You would think police would learn from this. Nope. They just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So Kaze needs one more lap glitch as well. Going to the lap knockouts, event number 10, change the lap number to 1, turn off the traffic, and that does carry over to the career mode. But we're not done glitching yet. The next race we're gonna do, we wanna force the cop spawns, and in order to do that, we're gonna start it right here. The event with the maximum amount of cops. We started from the safe house, we guarantee the cop spawn. One thing that I really love about this game is the upgrade, it actually feels substantial. Because you put in so many upgrades at once, You get the upgrades from 2 bosses after every time you beat a boss, so the performance differences are quite obvious. But Porsche doesn't care.
Yeah, it looks so weird. You're like golf in the Porsche.
But you can clearly see how much the rubber band was going on there.
Yeah.
Like it was easily over 300 there. And it takes me quite some effort to even get to 300.
Dzień dobry.
Decoys out. Molotov.
box battle, I'ma break down for the beat and the rhyme tone. Showing the cyclone, everywhere. Yes, I know. The red beam vaccine, hack red beam, put them up. You pluck the bad seed off the wall, spitting the gorilla tag team. What's up now? Duck down, stuck, they can't breathe. Yo, you know the routine, the demon effect. Please don't step. You wanna feed one of my pet peeves? The more beef, the better. Sounds strange, you all wanna creep together. Okay, in the club with a cheesy sweater. Why not? We got so much street credit, the rookie police let us. Now that's foolish, cause we don't act sweet. Cause I can run 10 laps in a track. Keep it moving, it's on now. Making it rock loud, shaking it rock wild. Breaking the punk style, faking the funk pow. Dark, watch the drum, what now? Watch a battle shit get sunk down. Click, click, pow. Nah, what? Just what I thought was up now. Click, click, pow. Nah, what? Just what I thought was up now. Never defend style, you left the limbs on whether you wanted to end. Dirty McGinn, I burn them again. 05, serving them sins. 30 of friends get knocked out, turning the wind. Hopped out, what you want? Take a look at my grin. I'm a fish, you can tell by the flippers and fins. Come on, I got a rock style. Pivot the offspring and show rhythm with the distorted guitar string. Who am I? Russian Malek, Kumatai. Pushing it back, how they make Quebec in July. Area 5-1, stereo vibe gun live. Here we go, SOB drop song. For the kids in the hall with the blue black tape. Blast from both angles, a boondock say. So get up, and let the sound hit ya. Snap this audio style picture. Keep it moving, it's on now. Making it bump loud, shaking it rock wild. Breaking the punk style, faking the funk pow. Dark, watch the prompt, what now? Watch a battle shit get sunk down. Click, click, pow. Nah, what? Just what I thought was up now. Click, click, pow. Nah, what? Just what I thought was up now. I'm like, counter-terrorist win. Ribs splitting the belly up on the shellfish. Shitting Indian style, playing the fell blitz. Drilling your brain like grabbing video games. Phillips with amber the styles, instant into your veins. Yo, what kind of stuff is he drawing? Really a style, really beyond. Come on, punk, shove off. You really gotta be gone. Ripped out of your brain, tripped over your lip. Your distance, that's a beat game. What's with this? Chilling these kibbles and bits. I ran up street, dog in the grove, I can't fix, get it? I'm sick with it when I spit the venom in it. Drips up in a minute, gets the women in a quick dilemma. We can settle it now, and I don't know who did it, but they said it was Styles. Click, pow, down, what? That's what I thought. What's up now? I'm like, I'm like, what I thought was up now. Down, what? That's what I thought was up now. I'm like,
hey, do your thing. Hey. Fresh out the house, got the beat. As I ride up and down Martin Luther King Drive, standing tall, looking down. Boy, snitching all day, I look around on the block.
I'm in a silver and sell 5 pound on the block. Ain't you ever seen a young player clown in the draw? Ain't nothing to a G. Spit fluently, groups are pursuing me as if it's more than two of me.
Money in my Chevy earned, and Tuesday is ocean blue. 28 sit over you, Ferrari drops and Rover smooth. You sit them out, PBs, I'ma flip them out. 50-50 plane, ship it out. Coming down, shining rose gold, feeling like I'm 8 hoes. Cadillac with 5 speakers, make these suckers 8 old. Right, we do this every night with the same big faces, make me lame for a bite. I got that top down. I got a real now, I'm working block now. I'm doing, do your thing. I'm doing, do your thing. I'm doing, do your thing. I got that tie down, I got a 10 down, I got a real now, I'm working block now. I'm doing, do your thing. I'm doing, do your thing. Do your thing. I'm in the hood in a drop top super sport. Mash let the horses holler and the Porsches follow. On their porches hollow. They call me Thunderbill, coming down to something else. Shout it something else, hot enough to make the sun I got a spook loose shit. Follow me no 24. Lucky charm cutlass, green diamond, purple heart. Hey, Jane Barnes Clark, drizzle is a Start the spring Regal's green. Summer cut, this is an orange.
I got a curly hair, dirty red, eating lemon heads, leaning in the Lincoln with a by left leg. Looking in the tenor, get your left side bent. Leave you laid out at Lake Wood by the lake. Cut it, coat the rails, chop the streets till they rock up. Muscle car, straight bucket, look how it stands up. Yeah, I made the ride look like a fruit drink. I got a tits now, I got a real now.
Revolution perp, I'm a grand hustle king.
Super cleanest on the scene, Italian leather, master polo boots. And the wood grain lame, I show you how to do the do. Fruit, same flavor as the candy gloss. In the back seat, got a free pull.
Made the anchor on a Cuban link chain. Diamond stacked on top of diamonds, custom made, pinky rain. Fishing hats, polo shorts with the polo man. Wham, blue and tan, in the blue and tan avalanche.
Jackers never had a chance, sat them in the ambulance. They hopped out the van and started like a cameraman. Top down, hit the switch and let it drop down. Pass it by the underground, they can hear me underground.
I got the tits now, I got a real now. I want some blocks now.
Do your thing, do your thing.
Take a short walk in my shoes, my boots, my kicks, my flip-flops, whatever. I done seen rain and I ain't just talking weather, but I'm a survivor. Shame on you if you thought I would ever leave. I'ma be right there where the legends be. I am unbreakable, I'm rock, I am never weak. Nah, I feel weak sometimes, but you're I'm going through one of those entire life right now. Still I got a slight smile, knowing it's gonna be better days like Tupac said. And we gon' make it like even them two locks said. Who not better about something? Life's about struggling and overcoming your shortcomings, not about huffing and puffing and crying without doing nothing. Take them sour lemons, make lemonade and stop sucking. I am right, ain't no breaking me. I am right, ain't no shaking me. I am right, ain't no earthquake kiss me. I am right, I am right, I am right. It ain't no breaking me. I am right, it ain't no shaking me. I am right, that ain't no earthquake kiss me. I am right, I am right, I am right. I'm rock like coal is old and dusty, but y'all already know it's underneath. Give me some time and keep applying pressure. Watch me shine like the ex-bad boy. It'll all be fine. Dig down deep, search for the energy I can't lose. Get in touch with that inner energy. Game face on, see this mug, you remember me. Focus out the pain, ignore any injury. Then again, I am rock, you can't really injure me. Ship off a piece, all you gon' get is a little me. Got one from almost every tough time in my history. The new team rock rubber. Are you still with me? Got a bunch more. During my last stage of misery, my little G. That strength to me. Are you kidding me? I get stronger every time they try to finish me. Oh God, we multiply. Can I get a witness? Ain't no breaking me. I am right. Ain't no shaking me. I am right. Ain't no earthquake kiss me. I am right. I am right. I am right. It ain't no breaking me. I am right. It ain't no shaking me. I am right. That ain't no earthquake kiss me. I am right. I am right. I am right. There been times I feel like I ain't
so strong, I really can't go wrong. I ain't staying so long, I ain't going home. Rock band going hard till I can't no more. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Me and bad luck, been had beef. He can't hurt me, he can't serve me. I win every time I see him, even with all his undermined cheating. Every time I beat him, I think the odds must be his crew. Huh? Word, they always been against me too. Huh? They can't see me neither. Anyone thinking he could keep me out my championship heat. I am right. It ain't no breaking me. I am right. It ain't no shaking me. I am right. Ain't no earthquake, it's me. I am right. I am right. I am right. It ain't no breaking me. I am right. It ain't no shaking me. I am right. That ain't no earthquake, it's me. I am right. I am right. I am right.
Counter-terrorists win.
I wouldn't come around here. I watch both pockets cause they ain't from around here. Man, stay with the strizzy cause I'm from around here. And not even the cops there to come around here. So if you hit the ambulance, ain't gon' come around here. Now you stuck, not even cash, they don't run around here. If you hungry pizza, man, you don't come around here. And I dare Jehovah's Witness to knock around here. Whips get stole, they never getting told around here. Stay in the news, but never nothing new around here. If you ain't never been to the ghetto, man, don't ever come to the ghetto, man. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I heard because of fury. Run a little cheaper down there. Don't be slipping. You can put a little cheaper down there for your bling. Even your two-way bleeper down there. I got this bitch. She got a crib down there. I moved out, but I still get to live down there. You couldn't go down there to see a little down there. They for you ain't answer down there. I go down there, so don't go down there. And you go down there. You looking for trouble if and when you stroll down there. And you whip park that down the road down there. They don't play. Don't pitch straight up all hoes down there. Who ain't got rent still pull down there. Been working mighty hard till they old down there. And they got a security guard in the store down there. But them kids are selling me short store down there, man. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. Well, I guess it's the same everywhere. Come around iced out and you get out anywhere. Fight to give it up and you get out anywhere. Most these people, they don't live anywhere. The other night, they just sleep everywhere. I try to live that life, but it ain't get me anywhere. I make my money here, there, but I can make it anywhere. Ask about me, Sonny, they respect me everywhere. Been in big and pop down here, there, everywhere. Every block, lock down here, there, everywhere. Guess they got fiends, every block, everywhere. And they pumping big and pop, every block, everywhere. When you're looking for the cops, you can't find them anywhere. Kids looking for their pops and can't find them anywhere. And they mama keep on switching the crib down there. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. I tell them everywhere, anywhere, what's really good, my hood. Is that your place? Is that your hood? Is that your block? Is that your place? Is that your hood? Is that your block? Is that your hood? Yo! I'll be there soon to a hood near you. Sunny Play Rap, Marcus King Productions. What up?
Yo, let me see some heads nodding, fist pumping, feet stomping, shaking necks, breaking
breaking, earthquake. Let's move. Battle, we got nothing to prove. Let's move. That's one supply to people with the groove. Let's move.
Hard tracks remind me of blacks with hard facts. These are facts. Drowning in the swamp like Artax. Boston to Fairfax. Chill, watch Miramax flicks. Then I start to get sick. Hail drop. Take 39 like the Hail Bob. 4 teachers, 1 meal cop. Then the atmosphere will get real hot.
My flow is like torrential downpours making steel rock. We pros whose credentials drown yours on the real blocks. It's not coincidental that we tour some real spots. Appeal, guys, never take it for granted. Write a memo and hand it to your receptionist. The game's about to change, here come the perceptionist.
I'm a genie, the next time you see me it's Ouija. It's easy, I'm folding this dimension and breeze it. Event Horizon, Miles Bennett, Dyson M, Tyson M, Spice components for
2 black orators
of the year.
Yeah, here the masters of the hemisphere.
Universe,
pumping knowledge through the verse.
Intensity,
adrenaline, hip-hop's propelling through my melanin. Gentlemen, behold.
Live on David Letterman, you're sold on the brother's whole song. You want to hear another verse? Everybody cool, hola.
Let me see some heads nodding, fist pumping, feet stomping, shaking, necks breaking, earthquake. Let's move. The battle, we got nothing to prove. Let's move. Perceptionists provide the people with the groove. Let's move. Let's move. Let's move.
We wanna show you what oppression is, so we'll speak in split sentences. Get sick, hail drop, mega tripe, use a mega knife to slice through the afterlife. Soul spill,
so ill,
so chill,
so will
take you on a rhyme adventure, mind dementia, time to venture.
Time to enter with the prime inventors of a style essential. Intercontinental champions are stomping and you're camping, and we positively lamping in your spot.
You're booted.
Raise the perceptionist flag, 21 guns saluted, everyone's lungs polluted, women and young included.
Computers are ones recruited, look how the hung maneuver.
Strange fruit used to swing from the southern trees. Now there's only leaves and those who laid the path of loving needs.
Discoveries in the brothers freeze, others beg and plead for some empathy. Enemy, there's no remedy.
We cooking up that hot,
but not sharing the recipe.
Let me see some heads nodding, fist pumping, feet stomping, shaking, necks breaking, earthquake. Let's move. The battle, we got nothing to prove. Let's move. Perceptionists provide the people with the groove. Let's move. Let me see some heads nodding, fist pumping, feet stomping, shaking, necks breaking, earthquake. Let's move. The battle, we got nothing to prove. Let's move. Perceptionists provide the people with the groove. Let's move. Let's move. Let's move.
Never gonna stop trying to get it, dude. Never turn my back on my city. Never let the money stop with me. I'ma never stop hollering at the sense.
And the sense go, 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 and the sense go,
one, two, you the lie. And the sense go. Hey, homie, you don't wanna get familiar with us. Nigga, no, but you would give me and my to rush. I'm sick of all you unfortunate supposed to be prepared with telling stories about your life when I was not how it was. Yeah, I'm sure 'cause this back in the days with the like in you when you was out there getting paid with the you get the when you're hitting the days, it's not your beat. No. But you do not know me. Quit eyeballing big it down for you do not homie. You don't wanna know what I've been thinking of. You better go ahead on and find you another spot to chill, 'cause I've been dipping dust. We see a light and everything ain't great. It's like no one knew. I put his revenues, I'ma tell you 4 nigga things I'ma never do. Never gonna stop trying to get it. Never turn my back on the city. Never let the check go. Never stop hollering at the sense.
and the sense go, 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 and the sense go.
UTP, come on. 3 to the 17, yo, we doing it big together, you know why. 'Cause these my people, you can pick up some bad habits hanging in these streets. Heavy talking to this and that, showing your teeth. Walking around you like you took care and you handled your beat. Pose it off 'cause you wanna come talk to me. To show me the live, give me something ball for me. I take it back to where the big timers were pushing the show. When the football dicky suits like it was regular jobs. When Club Adidas goes down and the used to be back. And news started popping and it started. We used to do this, jokes in the back. We had 4 rules in life and I can promise you that I'ma run. Never gonna stop trying to get it, dude. Never turn my back on my city. Never let the money with me. I'ma never stop hollering at the sense.
And the sense go, and the sense
bounce with a 06 coat. Let her wild out and flick it up for disco. Let me gas up, go down and get goes. Ain't tweaking for the, I like to get your stupid trying to stand here and lick toes. Good girls love G's, that's how they go. The squad needs to tighten up and get low. I know you heard her, I'm getting dough. Let me check my palm pilot, let me check my squad wallets, we getting close. My squad up in the crowd wallet, they spit more. Drive 5 to 5-5, forget a fold. 5-5 and another 5, you get a show. 15 and another 5, you get some to show. You're hustling, you're block popping, you get some more.
Never gonna stop trying to get it. 2, never turn my back on my city. 3, never let the money with me. 4, I'ma never stop hollering at the sets.
And the sets go, 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 and the sets go.
My crew is all fired up. Y'all better just wise up. Everybody getting sized up. Before we all rise up, start running your times up. Cause when my crew ride up, the sky gon' light up. Everybody get fired up.
I walk this planet the most rugged. Most can always see this heat, but don't touch it. Cause you might get them burned when I come through. It's my turn, never get in my way, or you're getting rolled over like Rover. I suggest a bulldozer. I throw these dogs in the street to melodies like a heartbeat playing against piano keys. It's a breeze, 365 degrees. Turn around and you might catch these, so just freeze. A riddle with no clues, I'm a walking nightmare. Don't fight fair. A day in my shoes is a day with no fear. So walk barefooted and save your whole year. And I wear a mouthpiece cause I grit my teeth, so just bite your tongue. Come on and just tempt me. Yeah, my crew is all fired up. Y'all better just wise up. Yeah, everybody getting sized up. Before we all rise up, start running your times up. Cause when my crew ride up, the sky gon' light up. Everybody get fired up. In the club to a beat, in the street with a beef in the heat. Everybody get fired up. If it's black, if it's white, if it's wrong or it's right, day and night. Everybody get fired up. Don't matter if you win or you lose, only one thing to do. Everybody get fired up. Put it down, every town, every city. If you feel me and you with me, everybody get fired up. Yeah. I'm an SOB, most can always see. Told me you don't know me, I was put here to see you silly. And clap Billy, and clap everything in the track like Mac Millie's. And that's just a half really. You don't wanna see the other side, I suggest you act quickly and ran swiftly. And get out of my way before me and you empty. Come on and just tempt me. Yeah, my crew is all fired up. Y'all better just wise up. Everybody getting sized up. Come on. Before we all rise up, start running your times up. Cause when my crew ride up, the sky gon' light up. Everybody get fired up. In the club to a beat, in the street with a beef in the heat. Everybody get fired up. If it's black, if it's white, if it's wrong or it's right, day and night. Everybody get fired up. Don't matter if you win or you lose, only one thing to do. Everybody get fired up. Put it down, every town, every city. If you feel me and you with me, everybody get fired up. What? Come on.
and still rock a super song for the cause. Put a load on your brain for the episode, and we're just begun. Brother Black, the beat is back. And you don't know, you still I will take 3 jams and hold them. This was I told them. Rock the other side, the sucker lied. Said he was shocking but never tried it. So I took him away, I never stayed, y'all. He made a jam to get you slammed back to back in the place where the suckers are for. Whatever it takes to make it hardcore. That's what you buy for. Pulling your ride, the DJ decides to play it on the A side. He gives it a try, never really gives it a try. People request the best on the B side. Food for the brains, beats for the feet. People on the dance floor never claiming a receipt. Had a good time rockin' rollin' on the go-round. The rhythm supplied by the superior B-side. They had to twist and turn and shout. Cause, get you ready now. Situation put you in to where you're sweating an hysterical B-side. Request the best to give a test and never giving the rest. Your guess as good as my guess. And while I'm guessing, you're guessing. Yo, listen, this is a DJ to play to give a lesson in this. Wicked. And the suckers on the right get calls the records to the left and you search the stores, attack the racks with all the rappers without a pause. Call the B-side, wins again and again and again. Yo, Black, some of you are all in to make sure the crowd get loud with it on the dance floor. You never knew the crowd was this hype, but you thought we was the type to start a riot. Kicking the thunderstorm with a song while we dare you to come along. Pump the music, pump the sound. Once again, we gonna do it like this. One throwing you going, and you know it's time for my man on a mission, so listen. Cause.
Regular hit, green and gold, breathe and slow.
Pull up, Air Force footer, automatic.
I love it. Every single time they cut there. Most of the time they get completely stuck and don't even get to follow me, but they always go for the shortcut. 4, 5. That's pretty good. 6. Actually, don't remember the maximum amount of cops you can have during Condition 4. But yeah, a lot of them spawned in the Pursuit Breaker death zone. Oh, hello. That is not his day, man. Oh, hello. Another one. First getting friendly fired, then hit by me. The thing is, as long as the cop... Whoa. As long as the cop only hits... Took him out. As long as the cop has only been touched by another cop, I don't get any bounty. Unless he actually lands on the roof and dies naturally like that. There's a roadblock. I think I'm gonna pass it. And then come back. Because I wanna get... it actually despawned before I get the chance. Really inconvenient. Wait a second. I can.
Why? Right.
Speed break and boost. That is the way you can get out of these claw grips.
Incendiary out. Throwing a grenade.
I even told myself I'm not gonna go risky, and it still happens anyways. It is that random. The stuff, how the cops, suddenly attack you. You never know. They were all down already. But I wanna pick up that last speed breaker before I leave this area. Because that is like a limited resource. We don't have too many of those. Another roadblock passed on the side. As long as I have the chopper following me, I'm completely fine with going all out full speed around every corner. I love the cops. 2 of them just went on the road where I cannot use them at all. And they actually spawned a roadblock back there. Definitely spikes. You can tell. The way it looks on the minimap. If they're all to the left or if they're all to the right, it's very likely that that is a spike block, because where the spike is, you don't see the cops blinking. See me, bro? Ah! He's actually running away from us. Found him. I don't know where he is though. What? I see him on a minimap, I don't see... Is he invisible? No, he's running away again. Okay, listen. Shit, it is 6:59:46. I needed 7 minutes. So, we got the roadblock challenge, that is why I still kept this chase going. I needed to get the roadblock challenge. Now I can escape. And I only got a little bit over 7 minutes. And as predicted, I did not get the 6 spikes. But the thing is, that still stays alive. So you can do it later. Smooth. That was smooth. That speed trap on the minimap is probably 2 spikes, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 2 cars in the middle. We don't need it, it's there. Nice, we got enough bounty and everything, so we are just gonna do the lap glitch next and finish up the rest of the races, and then we get our Webster boss fight coming.
Smoke.
It is so hard to pick a favorite song in this game. Do you two dare to pick one?
Defusing the bomb.
No?
I have one, I can't remember what it's called though. It comes up sometimes.
Okay. For me it was Disturb with Decadence.
Do we have time for a couple of quick donations?
Go ahead.
We have $10 from mrally2, who says, "Hey Kuru, hope you don't get busted on the last chase by cop surfing again. Have fun, Kuru W." And $10 from Rawley, who says, "Absolutely amazing run. Thank you so much. Final cutscene hype."
Cutscene hype indeed.
How is that goal going?
We are over halfway to that.
Awesome.
We still need a little bit more, so please keep those donations rolling.
We're a little bit over halfway in the run as well, so...
Actually, what is the timer right now?
2:12.
Okay. So we're about 40 kilometers behind right now, which basically means I need to ace the next 2 speed traps. Well, this one is kind of easy. The next one is the one where I want to abuse my speed breaker to get more handling around the corner and also keep
I'm
more speed.
74. I'm 65. 75. I'm 62.
Do you ever look back at old photographs of yourself?
Yes. Yes. Not really.
I'm going to show you pictures of your younger selves and get your response to them.
Okay. Okay, let's go for it. Oh, that's cute. And who might that be? That was a Sunday with my sister and I at my godparents, where my head was bigger than the rest of me.
And what's happening in the picture?
I was 2. How do I remember? So that's our little sailor. Uh-huh. I'm either 3 or 4 years old.
It's A.
Counter-terrorists win.
And since the most recent gearbox upgrade, the car goes up to 345.
Lock and load.
As I said, I don't want to hit anything. I'm happily sacrificing a quarter second of slow-mo in order to not hit that.
Incendiary out. Fire in the hole.
Someone in chat said let Josh drive. Probably not a good idea.
I'll give you the control during a cutscene. Co-op. Whoa.
Oh.
That was good.
See, I would have hit that.
Yeah, pretty much anyone would have hit that. The thing is, you actually have to rest your finger on the speed breaker at all times. If you even have to move your finger over from a different position, you're not gonna make it. I remember in the beginning of speedrunning this game, people were debating, is it even worth going for the speed breaker? It's also, you know, when you go for individual level speedruns, obviously speed breaker is not allowed because you could get around corners so much more efficiently and more quickly to demolish every single time. That's an easy one.
Nice.
We also didn't get any bullshit rubber band this time, so that was helpful.
Cars you're racing.
Yeah.
Yours.
It looks always a little cute, right? A Golf next to all these super and sometimes even hypercars. I'm not sure if you would put the Carrera GT into the hypercar category, or like the new models, the 918 Spider. But you know, back then the Carrera GT was the shit.
Throwing smoke.
That was my car of choice for finishing this game. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy the most expensive car in the dealership. I'm gonna tune it to the max, put every single Junkman part in there, and just make it absolutely ridiculous. You know, I thought I was clever because I replayed the game and preserved every single Junkman part for the Carrera GT at the end. And then went online. I thought, hey, I got like the best car now, right? But online, those Junkman upgrades that you get from beating the bosses, they do not work. It will show you the stats of them being installed, but they are still not active. So the fastest car online was still the BMW M3. and on some occasions, some very cornery tracks, Deadlies, which is the best handling car in this game, and the fastest once you put all upgrades.
Lotus Elise.
I actually played hard mode, you know that? Yeah, because it's the lightest car in the game, and the car to be busted because of it. It's rear-wheel drive, so they have a lot of wheel spin, so you can't push anything, and you're really light, so you can't push anything as much anymore. You actually played in hard mode, man.
Remember that, like, the only car I knew as a kid was the Lotus Elise, because of this.
Yeah, I only knew it because, you know, it was played online. Most of the time, you just won with the M3 and it kind of became an M3 mirror match all the time. Back then, it was always a four-player race online. It was fun though, because we actually had ratings, you know? If you play some of the newer games, you just get a rating, you get points, you rank up. They actually had that in this game. And it was super exciting because you knew instantly who's good and who's bad. And you more concentrated or just paying attention to that guy, you know, because if he's faster than you, why is he faster than you? Can you emulate what he's doing? And you know, it was just really, really competitive back then. We actually turned off the servers fairly soon, I think. Sometime after Carbon, I think it was only 2 years online this game before EA shut down the servers. On a funny side note, the Carbon servers are still up. Play Carbon online, even the official servers, the official game, no problem.
It is.
I much prefer Most Wanted, to be honest.
Oh yeah, did you ever play Need for Speed Online? Like
Need for Speed World.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah.
I didn't play it at the time because I was addicted to World of Warcraft.
Oh.
So it was perfectly overlapping with World of Warcraft back then. So yeah, I didn't do anything other than that. So that's kind of my period where I didn't play anything other than that, other than World of Warcraft. So yeah.
I never heard about it until a few years ago, and I found out like it combines like two of the maps or something, like Carbon and Most Wanted.
Exactly, it does combine Carbon and Most Wanted, and instead of the bridge jump, you actually have a tunnel connecting those two cities. And a few extra roads on the outskirts of both cities that haven't made it to the main game. It was fun going back there because I did play like an offline patched version that you can play by yourself now that the servers are down. They're also working on a project to, I mean, I think it's already online. Soapbox that allows you to play Need for Speed World again.
I'm gonna Google right now.
Yeah, do it. That is probably the most close experience you can get to the original feeling of the MMO feeling of Need for Speed. So there's a neat trick that I did there. The speed breaker to get my car angled correctly, and then hit the NOS to get extra grip. Because when you hit the NOS, your car really clamps down. You get a nice boost in downforce, and that is how you can get around, you know, 90-degree corners and hairpins at a really high speed without needing the use of the brake. I guarantee you I could get a very good time without the brake being mapped on my buttons. I could do the entire game with just speed breaker and no brakes.
Good idea, because then undercover happened.
Oh yeah, in undercover that effect is even exaggerated. Where you get even more grip when you use the NOS in a corner. So, before I forget, and I really don't want to, is one more lap glitch that we need to do.
No one has ever seen this. You were the first one.
Wow. In 2003, then 19-year-old Elizabeth Holmes dropped out of Stanford and founded Theranos with the hope of using small amounts of blood, just a few drops, to do what normally took numerous tubes.
Now, most of us have had our blood drawn at some point or another in our lives, but how much do you really know about what happens after the blood leaves your body?
Testing blood may seem like a simple process, but in fact there are numerous steps that can impact the results. For example, the
Let's go.
Tourniquet. How long's that supposed to be on? Was that alcohol or iodine used to clean my arm? What's the size of the needle? And why are there so many tubes? The anti-clotting medicine is not standardized, nor are the various reagents used to do the testing itself, let alone the machines that finally spit out the results. It is a big $75 billion industry with thousands of players controlling little pieces of the process. Theranos wants all of it.
Okay.
What resulted is this black box, a mini lab. The company says it can run up to 40 different tests on a tiny sample of blood.
We've designed it to allow for the same operations that a technologist could do in a laboratory.
Holmes believes that a finger stick, instead of a needle, will make people more likely to get their blood tested.
I'm going to do this myself. Tiffany, hello. That's still a needle in there.
Lancet.
A lancet, okay.
Needle has a hole. Lancet is a poke.
For what it's worth, this Theranos blood test put my cholesterol at 170. My own doctor found it to be 169 just the week before. Holmes says she wants to make this sort of
Let's go, people. Throwing flashbang. Throwing a flashbang.
testing available anywhere, anytime.
There's no reason why these can't be distributed in very, very decentralized locations.
Your home?
Yeah.
You think people's homes should have these, essentially a clinical laboratory in their own house?
I think that's a very interesting space.
But wherever the tests occur, the results need to be precise and accurate. And that's where the story of Theranos starts to crumble.
There were several labs that were tested that weren't totally accurate.
One study in the Journal of Clinical Investigation found the tests from Theranos retail testing sites in Phoenix, Arizona to have significant discrepancies. But even more damaging, an assessment from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services of their Newark, California lab, which questioned Theranos' ability to run a clinical laboratory, citing, quote, a global and long-term failure of the quality control program, and demanding they get their act together. Wall Street Journal investigative reporter John Carreyrou first broke that story last October.
Theranos wasn't able to do so to the agency's satisfaction, so the agency has now decided it's going to shut that lab down, and it's going to ban Elizabeth Holmes from the blood testing industry for at least 2 years.
Holmes has until September 5th to appeal. But in her first interview since the CMS decision, she insists the technology was never to fault for the erroneous results.
Let's do this quick.
Instead, she blames it on flawed operations and personnel.
At the highest level, we didn't have the right leadership in the laboratory, and we didn't have the implementation of the quality system in terms of procedures and the associated documentation to ensure that we were realizing the quality standards that we hold ourselves to.
Of course, in the middle of all this are patients whose health depended on Theranos for accurate results.
There's this man
who goes by the initials RC right now in Arizona, who is suggesting that the lab results that he got
because I couldn't stand them, you know, some of the country stuff, you know.
Oh, the country stuff's great.
I'm not too, I'm not a kick coner, even if I tried to. I tried so hard, but I can meme along with the chat, but I still don't like it. This is the first speed trap event against Webster, which is a sprint essentially, and later on the second event is exactly the same race, but not as a speed trap, but a regular sprint. I'm not sure that was intended by the developers. It seems a little weird to have exact same race in two variants right after each other.
I think it's the same race, but because they're different types of race, they're given different names.
No, the name is actually the same.
Is it?
Yeah, the name is the same, but they just decided that it's a good idea to have the same race twice in a row. The only difference between those two races, since you know it's not something that I can lap glitch, we still have the traffic active, and one race has more traffic than the other. So although it's the same race, you never get at the same times. Like one's always faster. Go ahead.
It's this song. I'm sat here just like, oh yeah, this song's great. I'm like, oh, it's this one.
Let me try to remember what it's called.
I'm sure chat knows.
Chat definitely knows.
Sorry.
it's fine. Did chat already figured it out?
Oh yeah, someone will do it.
Time to do this.
God, of course, the chat always knows.
Blind didn't change.
Yeah. So here is a very good example that, you know, cars don't really go that fast.
Were not accurate, and it led to him having a heart attack. Based on what you know, is it possible that what he's saying is true? Could he have gotten a lab result that was so askew that he didn't act on it, and then a month later he ended up having a heart attack?
I'm not the lab director, and so...
I know, but you're the CEO and founder of the company. I mean, this is as serious as it gets.
What I know is that I've put the best people in place to be able to investigate every aspect of this and ensure that we meet the quality standards that we hold ourselves to, and I know they're doing that.
The biggest problem was going live with blood tests that didn't work, or that worked only part of the time.
Theranos is under the microscope of the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Securities and Exchange Commission about whether it misled investors about its technology.
I'm a doctor, I'm a scientist. It takes me some time to understand all that you are talking about. I'm not sure that I frankly still understand all of it. The people who are putting in tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars fully understand Theranos.
They understood the...
Let's get in and out. Decoys out.
Trying to think of the best way to answer that. The reasons they invested in the first place, right? These are sophisticated investors who chose to come into a startup company based on our intellectual property, based on our patent portfolio, based on our mission, based on the people who are here, based on what we were working to do, right?